Interesting. My camera is not working. Hold on. Hmm. Okay. There we go. Not sure what was going on there. Apologies. Never seen that happen before. But that's okay. I'm going to eat obnoxiously into your ears, crunching chips. Hope you enjoy that kind of ASMR. All right, let's get rolling with some LEC.
Got, well, their behinds handed to them. So true. I think there was a little bit more of, hey, we need to.
Give me just a second, guys, to get my pen up and ready. All right, looks good. Is Perks washed, guys?
I think there's still a little bit of
the energy versus C9 first play, maybe turn off the stream. Well, we got to feed the raccoon something, guys. Rakan has the highest win rate of any champion picked over 1K plus times over the game's lifetime. 54% win rate at 8K picks. Wow.
Absolutely, especially when we've been excited about the mid jungle on top of that as well. We've been excited about a relevance champion pool. Note on the desk they were talking a lot about
who be washed, guys. Who be washed.
Already Jack's taken off, Rumble taken off the board.
Greetings, Full Metal Dragon. I will be trying to read YouTube chat occasionally.
Remember, he has things like the Kali as well that's also flexed up.
All right. I'm confused. You said bangers only. Well, the world, we don't have LCK or LPL this week, guys. I say thank you.
The top side as SK ban away the Seraphine from Flacket just in case we go down towards.
Yes, Ferret, I see you chatting in both chats at the same time. Very good. What is my favorite seafood? Oysters. Raw oysters.
The Renata ban here says to me that they're worried about them taking, say, the Callista on this first rotation here for X-Kick in the spot lane, which they will, looks like they will do, but they don't want the Renata to go with it, or at least put themselves in a position where they...
I do like how Flacket just gets the Seraphine ban all the time. Oh, man. I have to restart the Twitch stream again. YouTube just fine, of course. Okay, there we go. Not a great start today, guys. Not a great start. It's all right. We'll get there eventually. Thank you. I found a good barber here in Korea. Refresh for ads. Well, T Pro 83, if you would actually subscribe, maybe that wouldn't be a problem. Just saying. Just saying. What do you think about that? Okay. Looks like we are finally ready to roll. It took forever, but we did it. YouTube notification brought me here. Good. Very good. Time for me to crunch chips in your ears and watch League of Legends. And I'm all out of chips. Actually, I'm not. But I will be eventually. All right. It's just me, a man, and his tuna salad sandwich and some League of Legends. Substantives, thank you. No, thank you to the rest of you cheapskates.
We get to see some of that like flexibility, like in towards the mid lane or even in some of the bot lane for Heretics. But at the moment, this looks fairly bog standard. Maokai going to be taken up here, and then I imagine they'll take a Nautilus or some sort of aggressive support.
Okay, solo lanes blinded here into Callista. Interesting.
That Zach early on is a small
Be nice, but I'm a little bit weird just saying. Look, the question mark now is what.
Okay, we've been seeing more Zach top.
The Heretics put me on.
directed up by us. He's waving from the distance.
Varus falls pretty far down. No Ashban yet. Blitzcrank
But I still
Popped up a lot.
implies an Ashban. Yep, there's the Ashban.
you want to go for something a little bit more aggressive.
Niski back on to
Actually like the Silas here.
Xylus.
Very dive focus though, and
Yep, some pretty good ults to steal, especially with Maokai getting picked. So super good.
About how Team Heretics are going to round out this drive.
And Nautilus.
you can get a lot of value out of spreading his conclusive stacks around. You can try and
Braum?
play for heal as well. You got interrupt there for the Zac as he tries to jump in. So I really like this. I think several melee champions, which means Braum can get a lot of value out of spreading his conclusive stacks around. You can try and play for heal as well. You got interrupt there for the Zac as he tries to jump in. So I really
That
like this.
interrupt
I
is
think
going to be pretty
Heretics
hard to
are
actually
well
execute,
set up
though.
for healing. Try and get the
I think that's
We'll see if
something
Kaiser can actually do it.
in their last series, or at least their last
Braum
2 or
seems
3.
a little
You and I
difficult.
talking with a bunch of friends last night against BES. I think we saw one of the drives.
Tuna sounds good. Yeah, I know. My tuna salad sandwich, of course, with mayonnaise I diced up some dill pickles, so it's like pickle relish, red onions, celery, mayonnaise, salt, pepper. Threw some pickle juice in here. It's pretty good. Whole wheat bread.
Not only they're domestic champions here as well, but in NA, the lesser region, of course. I'm here in the LEC, I'll say that now. I think that's okay to say. If not, come at me. You guys are so far away, it doesn't matter.
They did just kind of beat us with it.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's a new year.
Have I tried the no brand gorgonzola soft corn ones? I have not.
Two inter-regional champions. The fact that
Lots of good Korean chips, though.
Here today is sad, and I think we need to reflect on that because to start off the game, there has been...
Add bacon bits? Yeah, that would be good. I don't have any bacon bits now. I didn't fry up any, like, dice any bacon and fry it up. Oh, my God. Get me out. Get me out. Well, I see some level 1 shenanigans with Braum. Always fun.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how these two teams are going to face off. For Heretics, I do want to see a little bit more of a calmer and controlled game. When we look back to the first game of their...
Are we face-checking a Braum at level 1? That seems like a bad idea.
Solo killing Wonder. Flack could end up taking a poor reset timer, so he falls 20 CS behind, and it felt like there was just no way for them to really get to grips in that game. And I think this is where you kind of have that opportunity to go, right, a huge amount of what SK want to do is snowball through early skirmishing.
Okay. Are we face-checking a Braum? We are. That's 3 versus 2. Oh, my God. Oh. So this has become a more common tactic, guys, which is mid laner tries to fight bottom level 1 and arrives to lane late, but you sometimes get a kill. Showmaker did this with Silas in D+ versus Gen G, got first blood and kind of snowballed really hard because Silas can be very, very good at level 1. And this is a very bad... By the way, guys, this is a very bad level 1 from Heretics. This is a very bad level 1. So you're so just... Like, they know your jungler's topside. Like, both junglers see each other, right? So you don't know, by the way, that Nautilus Varus is not in here. Right? You don't know that. Braum actually walks up and wards here. Where's the ward go down? Whose ward is that? Oh, okay, that's Braum's ward, right? Braum ward's there. They don't see Silas. And... And you just face-checking this. Like, I get you that you have a level 1 Braum, which is very strong, but they are going to be jockeying for control of the bot wave very early on. And especially when you're on red side, like, this is a possibility, especially with Silas at level 1 if you don't see him. So this is actually really sloppy, I think, in the current meta by Heretics. Like, you get 2 flashes out in exchange for an ignite, and you get a kill. Unfortunately, it goes on to DOS, but, you know, this is actually just a fucking appalling level 1. Like, you have to expect that that's coming. I mean, how many games around the world have we seen where blue side is trying to control red side tri-brush early to get control of the wave and to get a favorable trade at level 1? And like I said, this has been done, particularly with Silas already in the LCK. That's super bad, guys. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's just basic. I want to say I've been watching your YouTube content for nearly 10 years. Oh, thank you, man. Analog bot. You may or may not be an actual human. You may be a bot, but thank you. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there slowly. Back into the content creation game.
Set up. You're going to spot on this board here, if I can get my buttons working, that you're not going to get the move towards Mecca on the bottom side. So it'll be irrelevant who wants to try and crash that wave on top to make sure he's not going to cause issues for himself with Yanko's moving up towards that top side. You can see already just very quickly trying to get that wave crashed in so that then Jankos can try and visit, but may not have managed this.
Let's see, level 3 now picked up.
Degon solo queue streams or something. I don't know why he does that to himself, guys. I don't know why he does that to himself. Flash. Yanko still gets W. Nice stun. Well played by Irrelevant, actually. That was actually very well played.
Irrelevant survives, and that was a flash burnt for a Ghost and a flash from Yankos.
Yeah, both burnt, but still Irrelevant. Won't be able to get that.
What are LFN followers called? Crewmates? I don't know.
Especially with concussive blows up against all, it's rough. The dive gets messy though. Isma's gonna die.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Why is DOS taking turret shots?
Irrelevant survives, and that was a flash burnt for a Ghost and a flash from Yankos.
Why is he taking a turret shot? He literally just walks in before the wave. Okay. Uh-huh. Then he has to use shield. Mm-hmm. Flashes in.
It's so dangerous, especially with concussive blows up against all, it's rough. The dive gets messy though. Isma's gonna die.
Why are we diving?
Double over to Flacket and he survives. X-Kick now gets teleported on by Perks. They can't finish the job.
Oh, just take the W. Guys, you're like, you got the kill earlier. Why are we taking free turret shots? I mean, he just gets stunned under the tower, right? He just gets stunned and he flashes to engage. Right? He flashes to engage. So he doesn't have any kind of flash to escape. He committed himself to death at that point, but they thought they could trade for Flackid. It seems really, really fucking hard to dive the Braum Varus, especially when they still have heal up.
If you wanted to look for that, but I mean, sorry, Isma was here off the back of it, but like they go in, they get Isma on the play. Isma dies, Flacket goes down as well. It's not, I don't know. That was messy stuff from SK. And as you say, like trying to dive the Braum,
especially with two melees.
I got completely off guard by that one. I didn't expect to try and go for it. Yeah.
I thought our levels are down, no problem. But Flacket's
here off the back of it, but like they go in, they get Isma.
Yeah, of course they wanted Varus to miss the wave. Of course they did.
Flacket goes down as well.
Of course they did.
It's not, I don't know. That was
but like,
messy stuff from SK.
You can actually just bait out TP there and then just walk away.
As you say, like trying to dive the Braum was just an absolute mess. I was caught completely off guard by that one. I didn't expect to try and go for it. Yeah.
Early rend. Where's his rend? Yep. He rended one auto early too. That could have been a kill. At least they would have killed him in that case.
Now gets teleported on by Perks. They can't finish the job. But diving a Braum, as soon as the concussive blows come out, you better run.
And there was no need to try and go for that progressive play. You could have brought Isma down if you wanted to look for that, but I mean, sorry, Isma was here.
DOS took a free turret shot too, which is a big problem.
They get Isma.
Because if you look at this right now, DOS could have taken one more turret shot, probably, right? Antiqua's to Nitrous 3, thank you.
On the play, Isma dies. Flacket goes down as well. It's not, I don't know. That was messy stuff from SK. And as you say, like trying to dive the Braum was just an absolute mess. I was caught completely off guard by that one. I didn't expect to try and go for it. Yeah.
I thought our levels are down, no problem. But Flacket, excuse me, Kaiser.
You afraid to tell me these aren't bangers? Well. Does it also mean turrets start ramping too? No, because it attacked a minion afterwards. Laughing Goot. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. You're afraid to tell me these aren't bangers? Well, guys, we don't have bangers this week. This is Raccoon Week. Raccoon Week on Monty's channel. The raccoons are going to be fat and happy on all the trash. But, guys, we only have so many games to review. LEC and LCS are the only leagues running.
They've literally got 4 legs now. I don't know how.
So, by definition, these are the best games available. You may not like it, but this is what bangers look like this week.
DOS has no flash, and the wave is crashing into them, so I'd be surprised they try and look for any sort of, like, return gank onto the spot side where you try and dive a DOS and exit-kick, but the lack of control now that exit-kick and DOS have in this bottom side is going to hurt SK in the long run.
Yeah, giving Jankos a new angle. Isma now trying to trade cross parts of the map as well. Perks is here, but he has a...
This is what peak League of Legends looks like? Yes, in the week of February 10th on Lunar New Year. This is what peak League of Legends looks like. You may not like it, guys, but this is peak League of Legends.
Abscond abduct, he has the flash in the end, he's poked out. Isma can't finish the job. Great timing from Isma. The soldier went down, and Perks didn't have a way out.
Pings are going down onto Isma, though. They want to see if they can get on towards Jankos, but bot lane has that push, so should be able to find a get out here.
There's
Maybe
four
not.
members coming down. He's just tagged out, and Flacken and Kaiser are like, no way are we touching that. A free.
They want to see
Abduct, he has the flash in the end. He's
What is
out.
Jankos
Isma
doing?
can't finish the job. Great timing from it as well.
the lack of control now that exit-kick and DOS have in this bottom side is going to hurt SK.
Yanko's just going for a wee counter jungle.
Isma now trying to trade cross parts of the map as well. Perks is here, but he has a shifting sands available, but he just put a soldier down. Abscond abduct, he
What
has
is he
the flash
doing?
in the end. He's poked out. Isma can't
Okay,
finish the
so
job.
he can't move his soldiers, so he has to flash. Then Yankos is doing Raptors, and he just gets collapsed on.
Bot lane has that push, so should be
Uh-huh.
able to get out here.
Mm-hmm.
He's just tagged out, and Flacken and Kaiser are like, no way are we touching that. A free rend. This is
Oh,
messy,
that's free.
Messy, messy. My apartment's cleaner than this.
The fact that you don't have... I thought you had a bit more push on that bot side. Maybe Kaiser and Flacky can get into zone, exit-kick, and DOS.
Wonder also down 20 CS.
Just sticking around that bit too long. Yes, you got a lot of vision, but you don't get the Raptors and ends up paying his life for the red buff and passing it off to exit-kick as well. So now, despite the 2 kills you have in this bot side, if you end up with some of this red buff stacking in onto Flacky, you can chase down that bot lane for exit-kick and DOS.
Let's just quickly take stock of the game, because I feel like we are just going round a little bit of a...
Don't worry, it's going to get better. What's your definition of better?
Bot side, but at the end of the day, yeah, merry-go-round. There we go.
Why is Zach in pro play? Strong engage. He got buffed. AP in the top lane.
Protect their assets, because look at where the wave state is slowly pushing up.
I mean, tanky as fuck. Heals a ton now off of his ult. Yeah, Broken Blade fucking was so good on him.
Dots pulls in, but Flacken gets his 3rd kill. We continue to fight over this bottom side, and there's no point taking stock.
It does get better because it ends. No!
Gets his 3rd kill. We continue to fight over this bottom side, and there's no point taking stock.
He tries to use the level 6 advantage, but he just misses. Yep. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm surprised that didn't end up connecting. They're connecting Niski, trying to use the fact that he had that.
Did look weird that it didn't connect, to be
I
fair.
mean that Isma, with that mid control, can start to move up towards this these void grubs, and there's not really any sort of response here for Jankos, as he's just going to try and go up towards his top side and collect it. But good amount of vision control on this top side in favor of SK, so if he starts to move over towards that red buff, he should be spotted here.
I think I have time to do what I was going to do before. As Jankos, as you said, clearing upwards, Isma taking grubs. Something that you, Mark, and I think it was also Gouldborg yesterday talking a little bit about. First grub, remember, 150 EXP, it's a lot. And Isma's already up in the jungle matchup too, as he takes the other 275. Starts off with 3 grubs for SK. That is a big thing. Even though we're getting the seesaw down bot side, it still consistently comes out with a CS lead for exit-kick, who still has a kill. A CS lead mid.
49ers better win tomorrow, guys, or I'm going to be pissed.
In the jungle, a CS lead in top. SK
I can't live with the Chiefs winning.
Still end up being in a rather comfortable position.
Yeah, I will say though, Flacken having 3 kills and a gold lead is not the best
It's
spot
an
to
issue
be
on
in.
the other side, isn't it? Yeah.
So there is still a good amount here for Heretics, and the thing is, right, like, you definitely want to try and snowball this as SK to play for getting advantages on Niski, which they have done, and getting advantages in towards, hey, we want to look for skirmishes, but like...
The Chiefs winning the Super Bowl with this receiving core is just the darkest timeline for me as a Broncos fan, because at that point you just know there's never going to be any winning for the Broncos ever for like 20 years.
Isma's been, apart from that failed dive,
It's already so sad that they beat the Bills and the Ravens, man. So sad.
Jankos is like, okay, cool, I'm going to take that time instead to cement that lead on bot side, make sure that they're in a good spot.
So you can have an extra day off work. How do you get an extra day off work if the Chiefs win? Are you in Kansas City and that's what your boss said? Is everybody's going to be so wasted that you need a hangover day?
A little bit too. X-Kick and Dots have a friend available. Yankos comes in with the steal. Dredgeline back on him for the re-engage. We mess it up again as Niski with the abscond of Duct. Slows it down. Almost went back in.
You chose Trubisky over him. Man, why can't he just be in the NFC North instead of the AFC West? Fuck you, Bears. Fuck you, Bears. He could have not been in the AFC West. To be fair, if he had been drafted by the Bears, he probably would have just been ruined.
Give an opportunity for SK to continue snowballing these leads. So we're just going to take it slow. Make sure that we're just not falling far behind and then play for this kite back composition that we've set up for ourselves.
Listen to your Dagda. He says take it slow. That's what Team Heretics want to do. On the bottom side, SK keep trying to speed the game up. I like that point because it kind of situates where SK...
Pretty late first Drake here for a Callista team. This might actually be not great for SK. They will get this uncontested at the very least.
If they're at gold or ahead, it is abrasive, abusive, unloving, uncaring, divisive. Think of another word, Dagda. Come on, the dictionary's out as we get a dragon down in the meantime.
I was just enjoying you going through the whole thesaurus there, you know? Sure you had all your
words
up and
that
running.
my brain somehow knows, but it doesn't get any further than that. Oh, it's a gold grab. It gets us off this topic and straight into a new one. Perks in. Ulti back. Okay. All right.
What? What's the Maokai ult doing?
Well, just showing that they can do it. You know,
What is this? What is... My eyes. My eyes.
It gets us off this topic.
My fucking eyes. He doesn't even have flash. I think he miscalculated when his flash timer would be up, guys. I think that's what's going on.
Ulti back. Okay. All right. Well, there's ulti back.
I think he miscalculated when his flash would be up. That's my guess. Because it's like almost up. And I think he wanted to flash push him into Maokai ult. I think the play here, because if you look at this, look how close his flash is to being up. So I think this is a punish because Niski used his flash when he hit 6. And what's supposed to happen here is he's supposed to flash here, push him back, and then Maokai ult comes this way and they kill him. But I think you can see this tiny little sliver here. He just fucked up when his flash would be up, and then he just like pressed R out of frustration. Dagda, flame them!
That they can do it. You know, you want to do it again? Well,
Yeah,
all right.
I mean, kind of missing there your timer because it's like, well, Flash is going to be back up for Niski. Won't be able to TP back immediately, but you can probably have...
So I do think there was actually a reason Perks did that. I think they just fucked up the flash timer.
Or something, but like you still have a little bit of time before that, so you should be able to get back here.
Dos has flash. Dos has flash.
Yankos is just dead. Remember, he has no ult. Why is he counter jungling?
Team Heretics flash with a depth charge. Here comes the dredge line. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Bot together's good. Irrelevant somehow taken all the way to Asgard. He gets out with a slither of health. Good
to Asgard?
timing.
I don't even know what that reference is. Am I not under... Look, why would he be taken to the home of... Did he mean Isengard? Like they're taking the hobbits to Isengard? Because Asgard is the home of the Norse gods, and I don't know why he would go to Asgard.
And the drink keeps on stacking up. Perks the half HP.
Rainbow Bridge? Well, Cassante's gay, so is this like saying Cassante's the Rainbow Bridge? Is Cassante Bifrost?
Do you want to talk about what Yankos is doing or what?
I mean, Yankos just got unfortunate. He was like,
Meant Valhalla. Valhalla is in Asgard, guys. Valhalla is in Asgard.
Let's try and go for an invade and use the fact we mid push, but Perks didn't shove in mid, wasn't moving across that.
Cassante, Norse god. Well, as we know, guys, as we know from Marvel,
Now again, Perks taking the damage.
you know, modern Asgard's very diverse. You know, Heimdall. So maybe Cassante too. I don't know.
When you're in these ranged matchups, the Q to help you push and also be able to poke down in response. But Niski trying to see if he can stop the backs. Scott Doss is here, but may not want to be here.
Marvel is not canon. Marvel is not Norse mythology canon, guys.
Just gotta make sure they can keep perks at bay, so now they can move in towards their tower.
Do you remember when I had that moment where I'm like, man, what if Doss starts linking up with this Niski in this aggressive time? I think so far we've seen that topside play, roaming around.
I think he meant Isengard. Like, I think it was they're taking out the Hobbits to Isengard reference. That's my best
I
guess.
think kind of caught Team Heretics off guard.
It's actually hilarious, though.
Speaking of which, 2K gold lead, by the way, for SK in this early game. As we gear up for the Dragon, not now, 2 minutes 30 to go. Team Heretics positioning aggressively like it was up.
Yeah, I think there's a massive advantage here for SK, just in the fact that Niski's been having a fantastic time at mid. He's got the push.
Dude, I read American Gods. That book is fucking terrible. Holy moly. I actually really dislike Neil Gaiman. I tried rereading Sandman because I remember liking it in college when the TV show came out, and I was like, this is much worse than I remember it. Also, American Gods, like, the main character being named Shadow, the main character is so bad.
So SK have a very clear way of how they want to try and play this game. I think a huge amount of this is going to be on Jankos to try and slow down that pace and make sure that there's not an opportunity for SK to go for things like Rift Town or like...
Yeah, Dagda Hysterics is great. They're great together. Not throwing shade, I just thought it was a funny reference. All right. Nice job by Niski. Okay. Okay, it's free.
I think a huge amount of this is going to be on Jankos to try and slow down that pace and make sure that there's not an opportunity for SK to go for things like Rift Town or like find picks beforehand.
I mean, where is Jankos when you need him right now? Opposite side of the map, depth charge there. Flacker gets over the wall, but Chains of Corruption going to fly.
It's a nice CC chain between Nautilus Assault and Chains of Corruption. It's played well.
Destroy! Flacker in one smooth move. SK won't let that pace slow down. Dagger, they're going to keep on going.
I mean, Niski did say in the Euphoria he would never lose to Heretics because he thought some of the players were washed. And Niski's kind of showing up big here for SK. Getting control of that bot side. Great timing on waiting for that ultimate as well from the Nautilus to hit because he had the Chains of Corruption but was like, cool, I can just follow with my own Abscond Abduct, then get the chains down, make sure the Black isn't able to move it. It was literally looking to
Levoluded Heretic. I actually don't know how to say your name. Bezos Bucks for bangers. Thank you. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Always appreciate your support. How are LPL and LCK looking? Top heavy? I mean, LCK I would say is more entertaining than last year, especially because Africa Freaks are turning out to be better than expected. So that's made it much more interesting than last summer. As far as LPL goes, like, it's still kind of a fiesta. We're waiting for it to settle down. BLG looks good. Top looks good. Everybody else, like, kind of shaky. Even top kind of shaky.
And you're in a great spot, so really nice play here. I'm curious to see though. If I'm SK, I don't play for Dragon. I actually play for the Rift Herald on this one. I want to go. Hey, look, Dragon's cool, but it's one Cloud Dragon that could go across the Heretics. Cracking mid lane tower is significantly stronger for us, so I'm not surprised to see them rotate Execution and Dawson towards mid, so they can lean towards that, but. They don't have the pressure on bot side because Flack is slow.
I'll talk about this soon. I was gonna release my power rankings earlier, guys, but I realized, and this is true, if I put G2 on there and they lose on Monday, then I'm gonna look really stupid. So in order not to look stupid, I'm gonna wait till the G2 BDS game finishes, and then I'm gonna make them. That because there's no LPL and LCK is gonna be going this week. I can, without LPL going until the next week. I can actually look smart for the longest possible period of time before people forget, and then one of those teams gets upset, and then people won't call me dumb. So there you go.
Maybe it makes a difference to start up this Dragon, considering how strong SK actually are.
Isma is low, though. Don't think Heretics want to try and commit to this. I wasn't sure with the health that you saw in Isma and also...
Oh, Sunday. Whenever it is, guys. It's... Hey, Quack the Duck. Some of us live in the future, and it's Monday for me. Okay?
Maybe you consider going for
Just
something?
because you live in the
Instead,
past,
they just decide to back away.
like a troglodyte,
With X-Kick now returning to mid,
I live in the future.
I think you'll get a reset in towards going for one of these objectives again. But if I'm Jankos, I wouldn't be surprised to see him try and like play off the fact, because you can know that SK, well, they haven't done it yet, right? Because you haven't got that sound that went off. So maybe you look with perks to go up towards Irrelevant. If you can get a pick there, maybe you can look for the Rift Herald as well off the back of it. Although Irrelevant's teleport is just about to be up, so maybe they feel like they're just going to wait for.
You're going to be a trog too when you come back. Yeah, that's true. But right now, I'm not. You are the trogs.
You're telling me 5 moves ahead of the play right now. I'm trying to keep up at this point.
I live. I'm in Korea right now for the time being.
The setup's been so important for Team Heritage.
Troglodyte is not even the worst thing a streamer has called me today. Really? What were you called today? Do you need some? Do you need to vent a little bit there, Last Archangel?
Now moving up as a 3-man unit to potentially get to this top
You see that man's haircut? Monty's aerodynamic as fuck.
I mean, he's still
He lives in the
down
future like
now,
Superman.
for level 2. I don't know why Dragon does
That's
that. It
right.
turns into like a VHS.
Getting a 0 fade on the sides in the winter. Sure way to make my head cold when I go outside. Do you visit the LCK studio? No. Technically, I don't know if I'm banned or not. Technically, I don't know. It's possible that I am.
It's kind of stagnated now. And now Iski.
In a 1v2, but Silas, wow, that was chain to corruption damage. Just an R.
But with 2 people now on bot side for Flacket and Kaiser, Heretics are just going to go, right, we can try and get control established on bot side, but I like this. They know Isma's on
Are they
top
that
side,
petty?
so
Oh, yes, of course they
X-Kick
are.
and DOS. They're just moving down here to
Yeah, of
cover
course they are.
potential dive. DOS going to spot out Jankos now.
Yep.
I mean, Riot is the pettiest ever.
Has already cleared out the wave.
They are the
Maybe
maximum
you
amount of
can
petty
look
you
for
can
a
be.
follow-up wave, but I think Niski should just back away from this. You get mid-
Super Avery, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub.
You'll lose bot terror, but I think
Also, I just have no reason to go. I don't want to go. I don't, like, it's far away from me.
Look at it because he's at level 11.
It's not worth going.
He almost has it up and available. 5 seconds, you can see a little red timer there. So Team Heretics have to be careful. It's a nature's grasp. It's Flacket's ulti probably up soon and available as well from that cooldown. Niski trying to threaten as well. Flacket takes the turret
It's
off.
me, Monte Cristo's brother, Monte Carlo.
And when you look at him,
Would you like to gamble in beside me?
one of his favorite Silas. That's why the cameraman stuck down there. He's like, maybe this guy's going to try and 1v3 because you can see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, at that stage, he wasn't even 1v3. You can see DOS was hovering in the wings after moving down off of that mid wave. You got you got Isma who's moving down to cover as well. X-Kick moved back.
Maybe I should just grow. Maybe I should just grow a goatee and then make a YouTube video of me pretending to be Monte Carlo and going to the LCK studio.
Picked up for Isma. I wouldn't be surprised to see that plonk down in mid lane as X-Kick comes back out of base. You got the opportunity then if you overcommit.
4 horse and a 4 play, the highlights of my work week lunches. Oh, good.
This game is just becoming
Glad we
very
could provide
easy
entertainment
to
for
try
you.
and play out.
Again, running out of options. I know we talked about waiting, buying time, but SK continue pushing the game ahead. 3,000 only at 18 minutes. Yeah, but look at what else is on the board as Dragon spawns in 2 minutes 30. SK don't have a reason to walk down here until now. They see the rest of Team Heretics. Niski's like, okay, I'll take it. Ulti's out, but avoided with a quick little armor guard, but running through. There's a perks kill. And until buying time, but SK continue pushing the game ahead. 3,000 only at 18 minutes. Yeah, but look at what else is on the board as Dragon spawns in 2 minutes 30. SK don't have a
They just don't have anybody topside?
until now.
We just have a million people in this brush for heretics? Why? There's not even an objective over here to take.
And Team Heretics find themselves someone out in rotation, and the game suddenly gets a little.
Like, you can just use Herald mid lane. Now, I was going to say, yeah, you just use Herald mid. It's just fucking free? Why did they assign so many people to bot side?
Because you can hop in again, even go for potential tier 2 if you really want to. Guarantee that charge, but you're also getting
What the fuck, man?
Relevant, who got the top tower as well. So you always trade 2 for 1. So I think a bit of a
Now you have to go catch top wave. Like, here's why this doesn't make sense, guys. And here's why Niski dies. He doesn't expect there to be a gangbang in this bush because this lane is pushing right now. There's 2 Drakes already. There's a little under 2 minutes. And what's going to happen is that they have to go up into this side in order to deal with this. Meanwhile, they can actually just clear out this vision of this entire side and take dragon. But you already traded one turret and a kill for 2 turrets.
From SK on trying to defend the bot tower rather than in just looking to trade quicker on the map and get
You know they have Herald too. Like this is actually, they lost a lot of waves in the top side.
Giving a kill over to Perks. This late game is there. This carry that is going to damage out.
So in theory, like vision control bot side should now go over because they see, look at this, they see everybody top side. So they see Wonder. Wonder does have TP, but they're also going to see the Azir in just a second. Okay, they don't see him yet, but they see him on the ward. Okay, so they see him on the ward right there. And you can push out bot and mid and take Drake. You can't trade this for Baron either.
I will say in the early game it was like a 1.4k gold lead between Niski and Perks. Now there's only about 200, 300 gold between them, which is a vast improvement.
Yeah, I think though this is where you have ways for SK to try and play at the game, but if
why is Yzma top?
Team fights, you're still waiting on like another item and a half, I'd say, for a lot of the members on Heretics before you're massively in control of this game.
Very true.
So that's why I think at the moment, I like the turret down a mid, ton of vision, Silas on these side lanes, but they're doing a good job of holding it.
So now you're pushing back top again. I mean, you have pressure, you have TP. TP has to be used by Perks on the bot side. So now you're down you're down 1 TP. They can push it. SK can push out mid. They just lost. Like honestly, the knock-on effect is you just lose control of Drake. Like that is not good.
Team Heretics reposition. They're going to be on a ward as a relevant walks in as well. But you watch Niski on the back end actor.
Heretics one front to back.
Can he get Can Niski get Maokai ult? It's going to be the huge question.
This is such a good setup for SK.
Control ward doesn't spot out, but at least.
But you guys see how these plays 2 minutes in advance can really affect how the game is played, right? This is a great example of like side wave control and like decision. Okay, well, he steals it and now they all die. Oh my lord. Jesus. Wait, what? Whoa. How does this work? This looks so bad. Except they just isolate them under the turret and then they all die. Are you kidding me? Unreal. What? Well, I didn't expect that to happen, guys. I'm going to be honest. Yep, the Azir with all his sand soldiers in the choke. The Azir is doing huge damage to everybody right here. It's actually crazy. Perks does play this super well. Look at that. Credit to Perks, man. That's amazing. I can't believe they won that.
They managed to get access to SK and dismantle them. So much was used to try and gain access to Flacket, to gain access to Perks. And the angle is massive.
Now, guys, so the mistake here is you just finish the Drake, right? You just finish the Drake. If they're going to retreat into the choke point, just finish the Drake. Really good positioning by Perks, though. Credit to him. It is greedy, though, of SK. Like, we can say that in retrospect now, but it did look crazy that the Zac was ulted in where he could ult on them. Yeah, there's no actual damage to Flackhead when he's being CC'd. And he's able to flash the Zac knockup. Gets grabbed. Perks played that really well.
To get Niski into a position he doesn't want to be in. You can see
You don't expect that to happen, to be fair. I don't really blame SK there.
That was just a crazy fight. Tracking that impossible. I thought they made a great mistake, Dagger. I thought Irrelevant being in the middle.
Yeah, Niski and X-Kick did nothing in that fight. Did we ever actually get the damage counter from Perks? I guess we didn't. But I mean, there's a million spears in the Drake. You gotta just go for the Drake, guys. You gotta have to keep your eyes on the prize. Because if you're walking into this with all the sand soldiers in there, like, at this point in time, I think this is the critical moment. Because, again, you have to ask yourself, what are your goals? Right? Your goals is simply to stack Ocean Drake, right? This is what you want, and you already have a million spears in it. At the point in time where this guy's in here, the Zac is in position, right? And he's like, oh, I'm actually where I want to be to zone them out. So if he just stays here and ults and runs interference while Niski plays the periphery, then they'll be able just to easily take this Drake and disengage. Now, they clearly think they can win the fight, and I did too, so that's why I say it's a little deceptive. Like, it does really look like a good fight. But I think in retrospect, that's the takeaway there, is we just have to keep our eyes on the prize and just take the Drake.
You can see there, all of their resources used to try and get access to this Varus, and they just couldn't get him off. That was just
My family is trying to get into Greek mythology at a basic level. I don't know what that means. Define basic. And define family. Are we talking about like a 5-year-old here?
Just set it up perfectly for SK. Perks on the wing. 2 items. Great ulti himself. Now a bounty of 450 gold. Team Heretics with 1 fight and a dragon on top of that. And suddenly they're in a gold lead, as we're talking about. For SK, time is not on their side. And already things have started to become more difficult just after watching 1-ace.
Yeah, I mean, it was just great positioning from Heretics to fight back into that corridor so that then they've less opportunities for SK to gain access or come in from multiple angles. And that's where Heretics want to try and find their fight. So for SK, though, I think they still have a decent opportunity to try and get control. So you can see now they pushed out bot, they pushed out top. As long as they can keep mid control, they're actually going to be in an okay spot to keep pressure going with Niski on a side lane. But it is going to get more and more difficult, especially as we start to move forward. And if you can't find the vision that you need or the angles of attack that you need to come in from multiple angles as you set up for a team fight, that's going to favor Heretics. So for SK, I think it's take your time and fight before you hit river rather than after you hit river.
It's going to get harder, as we know. No drag in the meantime. Baron sits there standing, which now has about 8 arms, I believe. Somehow, red buff given over. Team Heretics now move mid. You can see Irrelevant's trying to find an angle over the wall. I mean, this could be huge. Team Heretics are walking towards this. And as they move in the choke, all it takes is Irrelevant to find.
Early high school years, the Mendelbaum translation of Ovid's Metamorphoses.
You can see Irrelevant's trying to find an angle over the wall. I mean,
technically written in Latin. So you know, technically Roman mythology.
But with a cute little kitten, they know he's there. Out he goes, and the flank suddenly dismissed.
Good read from Heretics, because that could have been devastating if you end up with Zac in your backline, and you've got, again, the opportunity for people to come in from mid lane, coming in from river as well to try and get on towards Perks or towards Flacket. So for Heretics, just continue to play this slow, keep your waves pushed out, and just try to avoid any opportunity where SK can get vision control in your jungle, and they can deny you getting access to river for the upcoming dragon fight in 2.5 minutes or anything along these lines.
Another one as well from setting out vision. I want to say that SK through this game, their vision control's been pretty superb. Really good tracking so far of Jankos, but more than that, the movements from some of the solo laners. This time around, Team Heretics will be able to clear out some of the aggressive vision that was put down by SK, make their vision line known, and get towards the Baron again. There's a cheeky control ward right in front of the Baron right now by SK, and that's keeping them in the know. The Baron's not being started, but you can say vice versa for Team Heretics holding their own control. So no sneaky Baron, no jump towards it right now. Instead, it feels like we might.
Yeah, for Callista, guys, you want attack speed to stack spears.
Some of these more ingenious angles. we talked about before.
Yeah.
it's tough for
It
SK
gives you
Focus
more
to, like,
mobility,
set up their waves as well as they could.
and
When you look
it
towards
allows
the
you to
mid,
stack
brings
spears
their
faster
momentum
for
kick, but it
rend.
was also as
That's the
Nisqy
primary
was able to get
purpose.
full control on bot side 'cause they didn't have mid pressure. They're trying to consistently go for these sort of plays where it's like, okay, let's see if we can quickly collapse onto mid lane and catch someone out, which can work. But I think you need to get like bot lane pushed out fully first. Try and establish vision or push Heretic's vision back.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, it's too easy for Wunder to just sit here as they like split 1-4 because you don't have pressure.
I have not listened to Michael Mann's commentary track on
Heretic's
Heat.
out of position.
Sounds interesting. I'm sure Thorin has.
So if you're able to get yourself into a fight and jump on Wunder, you know, the Zac at this point of the game, Wunder is invulnerable. Oh,
Nisqy. Nisqy.
hello, Nisqy caught on camera. It is a Sonya's hourglass.
Caught in 4K.
That's a cooldown we have to track now. We're not going to see that on the HUD. for
He
the
was
first
seen,
time.
too, by the ward.
But I'm sure you all know the Zonya's cooldown at home. I can't think about it on the top of my head. What is it, 120?
I want to say it's 90 seconds.
Okay.
It's
Could be
90.
wrong, but either way,
Smarter than
you
me.
won't have it for Dragon,
Yep.
which is the major one. So I think that's where, especially as you're looking to try and dive in onto the backline, it's going to become a bit more of an issue. Push is mid, but again, Nisqy starting to roam. He will be caught on vision as he starts to roam towards mid. There was an opportunity, I think, with TP up for him to completely push out this bot side. Maybe it's set up as a slow push. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Which would put pressure onto the tier 2 right as you start to look towards the pressure on towards Baron. And it looks like SK have kind of given up vision control on their bottom side and said, look, Heretics have already established too much here. We're going to try and look for the trade of Dragon for a potential Baron and draw Heretics into these positions where we have flank angles.
But again, their front line built up so much that for Irrelevant to get back there, Flacket has to step up massively. Perks has to be out of position. Maybe now the answer is yeah. Abscond, abduct, ulti for ulti. They get flung back and he will slide and glide. Oh, Perks. He must have been watching Michael Jackson videos. The moonwalk backwards gets him to safety. And that is a big ulti and a flash from one of their main carries of SK.
Still though, TP will be able to come through here for Nisqy, so I don't know if you're going to be able to get particularly much out of it. So you're basically ult for ult in the grand scheme of things. Flash
Watching Michael Jackson videos could have an entirely different meaning.
See, they're not dissuaded here. They know they have better vision here as Perk starts to set up for the Dragon.
I'm not going to make the incredibly inappropriate joke.
Where the flank opportunity.
Jesus. I almost said it, guys, but we won't say it. You can just think it.
Unstoppable is Wunder. He took no
Because that kid
damage.
got...
Cassante
Insert the blank.
things to start us off. Exeking is still hitting this way with Irrelevant, but remember that Isma's walked away. SK are so separated here. Dagda Nisqy's got a stolen ulti, but already starts out a little bit crazy. He's at 10k. The Baron now hits.
Irrelevant needs to be in a position where he can go on towards the back.
He's so mature.
Shot in, Nature's grasped us out.
The jokes make themselves, guys.
Irrelevant jumps in, but Perks in
Oh my god.
with a depth charge. It's a bouncing flubber, but it might not matter. SK is still getting hit away as Flacket and Perks rejuvenate.
Nice job by Wonders. Take the Callisto out.
Perks in with a depth charge. It's a bouncing flubber, but it might not matter. SK is still getting hit away as Flacket and Perks rejuvenate, rebirth.
There's just not enough damage here.
Team Heretics are not going to be eliminated today. Jumping in once more. It's Perks'
The Zac hasn't allowed them to get enough damage down, I don't think.
more than active.
Like, they don't have burst.
Is standing on the shoulder.
Like, they don't have burst here, so you need a lot of time to get the Callista Spears in. Right? And he keeps taking the Maokai ult, so he goes in.
Jumps in, but
And that's actually, I mean, he doesn't even have an opportunity to ult here.
Perks in with a depth charge. It's a bouncing flubber, but it might not.
I mean, I think that's the real issue, is that he never ults. That's actually a Nautilus ult that's causing that knock-up. You know, he gets chunked out basically immediately. He's engaging with, I mean, he gets hit by Baron down to about 1k HP. There's the Baron auto, right? And he gets hit by Varus Q. And he doesn't even, like, he pulls them in, finishes that animation, but he doesn't actually get his ult off.
SK is still getting hit away as Flacket and Perks rejuvenate, rebirth, and give us hope that Team Heretics are not going to be eliminated today. Jumping in once more, it's Perks' day.
Callista's, I think, is stronger with comps that are pick comps, right? Because that way you can isolate one target. What was the knock-up? It was Nautilus ult.
Key target selection from the Cassante. Tear
And give us hope that Team Heretics but it might not matter.
Go on towards backline, but he's not
Oh, maybe he did get it off. Actually, let's take a look. I think he maybe got one attack of it off. Hold on, let's watch him. I could be wrong. He's rooted. He pulls people in. Okay, I think he gets one. I think he gets one hit of it off. I think that's one bounce. Yeah, it was one bounce, guys. He got one bounce. I was wrong. He got one bounce. But the power of Zach is getting multiple bounces off and then picking up the blobs to actually get your health back, right? So the ult has very low value. But also, this build coming in from Niski with Roa into Zonia's just doesn't do the burst damage that you need.
Here's the hope from SK. I might just sneak the barn away right underneath the nose of Niski as well.
It ain't sneaking if
His ult went on cooldown, though, so he did get one bounce off, it looked like. It's a little hard to tell because it's just a clusterfuck. Yeah, I don't know how he got his ult off either. It looked like he was chain CC'd. But I think he got one bounce off. That's what... I have to assume that because his ult went on cooldown. Because he comes in, slams a few of them together, right? Gets the kill onto Jankos, and I think that's the one bounce while he's dying. It's my guess, guys. It went after death animation. It did. This is true. He must have used it, though. And that's the only thing that would cause that knock-up, right? Besides not ult.
Oh boy. Okay.
But even as we've seen in these choke points, even if you get it down, there's no like you need a lot of Callista ults to deal damage, and she just can't. Or I mean autos, and you just don't get very many down in the time frame that you need. There's no AOE, there's no burst. The Silas is like very low damage.
So difficult. We know now where this comp is going. We know exactly what Team Heretic's going to do. This is so hard to win out as Slingshot comes out and over the wall, buffed back. Perks says no. No. Irrelevant. You're just going to stay there and die. Doss is going to get tagged down now as well.
What a weird game.
Comes in from the side. I remember this movie as another kill to ball.
You really wonder what would have happened if they didn't dive that turret and they just smoothly snowballed into the Drakes, or if they didn't fight that one fight that looked good but turned out that they should have just stuck onto the Drake. It's probably a very different game with Ocean Soul. All right, here we go. Another Maokai ult taken by Niski. Backs off just to get maximum CC duration. He doesn't do damage. He's just tickling them with his chains. Look at this. Like, he actually gets on to Flacket here, but he doesn't do any damage. This is the least infuriating game. I think Perks had some very good team fights. He's up 5,000 gold now.
Heretics looking good in this one. The fact that you're able to get control of the bot side.
No damage, though. No damage. I mean, I think Callista can work well with tanks, but you have to play it like a pick comp. I think they just played the comp wrong. What a weird game.
Engage well,
yeah,
and
exactly.
That's something I felt like they didn't manage to do, and that's something
IMT dig, yeah, maybe we'll watch that.
And it feels like they have to stick for the same ban rotation, Aragon, on the side of SK Gaming with a really spooky Seraphine. You know that Flacket can pilot it well. Is it making them weaker when you consider the power picks right now in the meta? The fact that you have to target.
Yeah, Senritsu stock. Yeah, I agree. SK don't have much AoE damage. Wombo with Zac doesn't work very well.
It doesn't look like he's going to go for maybe a pull out against the Callista first pick though.
Oh yeah, but
Run it back, I guess.
Here when it comes, like they already banned Renata. I think Renata was not banned previously.
All right, well, we're back at it. This time we're gonna take it. We're gonna take it again, guys, but we're not gonna fuck it up. Now we're gonna take And on blue side, Maokai Nar.
More towards irrelevant to
Same
actually
sides. It looks like I'm watching the same game, at least from Heretic's perspective. They're just happy to take Cassante Azir. They take the Varus Ashban. Okay, Blitzban, Ashban. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, but
Nautilus ban.
nowadays it can actually but I would facilitate
There it is. Oh, I'm psychic, guys. I'm so good at this. And no, I don't know these drafts. Or you ask. I haven't seen these games. I don't know the drafts. Shin.
it just brings you so much more
Trying to get some skirmishing power. Help out in the bot side. Nico. Okay, we'll take Rakan. Chuck him in there with Callista ult. Very strong engage.
I mean, it's the issue is there's not that much dive from the
Talia.
I think it's more of like
Very, very strong over in LCK.
all of the CC
Past couple
already
weeks.
have in order to maybe look for a one-shot potential, but we'll see what's gonna be the last because there's a lot of option and variables. Okay, there's Milio.
I half expected an AD mid to come out with the Maokai pair.
Yamato sounds so fucking depressed than he was in games 2 and 3 this year. Was he
I
co-streaming?
feel like it's also so much AD damage then. 'Cause
Or was he on the
remember,
broadcast?
You get I mean, Yon obviously, because of his passive, he also deals magic damage, of course.
Frozen
But-
value.
Yeah, but then there's like Gnar, Kalista. There's not that much magic damage in your team, so maybe you want to have a little bit more magic, but on the other hand, right.
So Milio here, let's talk about these comps. Milio is going to negate a lot of the AoE CC coming from here, here, and here, but not all of it. At least Milio ult gives tenacity after it's used, which helps you with follow-up crowd control. Also have CC here from Callista ult. Extremely strong engage, guys. Primary engage, primary engage, primary engage. You can wall people off as well, right? And then you've got the Gnar for the secondary engage. So huge engage potential here. And this is much more of a pick composition because you have a lot of single target CC and you can wall people off to give Callista time to actually burst people down. So that's good. So this is all fantastic. On this side, it's pretty standard kind of front to back team fighting, right? A little bit more poke with the Azir and the Varus, a little bit more of the zone like choke control, and then disengage. So this comp very effective at kiting, chain of corruption, knockback with Jhin ults, isolating, taking somebody out. So if this comp is first on objectives, they'll be feeling pretty good. They can control the choke points, but if they have to play into this comp, they're going to have a really rough time.
Now mercs are quite valuable for the other side. As well, as we see Milio last pick, it's not something that, like I would say, abuses Kalista Rakan, but it's a really great...
Talia as a control mage has a lot more sustained damage. Yes, but her current builds are not as tank bustery as they used to because she doesn't build Leandries anymore.
So honestly, that's a pretty good pickup on the last pick.
We have
I think
You're probably going to build tier Seraphs.
I feel like they can take
or die for SK Gaming in game 2, and we hit the rift with Heretic.
And then, what is it called? Luden's Companion, the gun.
Or Talio all in towards team fights and zoning people off of fights, which could work out well for them. But I do agree with the desk. I think
You referred to Yankos as Joe Biden in the jungle.
We saw how good it was in the last game. I think coming into this again, Kaiser's going to need to be on point. Pick in general. Emilio can ult.
Exact same as what Lee, so thank you. SK adjust all out.
Was Yankos forgetting who his teammates were?
Free firing, some of the cool engages from Kaiser, but Wonder, 1v3 on Cassante, dude, he was insane on this champion. And again, just showing how much of a beast this top laner really is.
But that's the thing, right? Look, Wonder can have ripping around Zach where they continuously press forward with...
Why is this just frozen incorrectly? Whatever.
Do or die or win for SK or go away.
He has no idea where he is in this game. It's outrageous.
The third seed, by the way, of Winter. If anyone didn't catch that, the third regular season seed underneath G2 and BDS, which are right now sitting in the top side of the BO5s in round 4 in the upper bracket finals.
He has some weird moments in the last game, too.
Waiting for these days to pass.
And that was the thing, 2023, Winter, they finished third.
Yep.
And then we're like, okay, cool, this is a team that maybe can try and run it for a little while up. They had that big resurgence. We're like, cool, let's see if they can try and get into that top spot and end up passing out in 4th place. So this is where you want to see if they...
What? How do you not get that ward?
They had that big resurgence. We're like, cool, let's see if they can try and get into that top spot and end up passing out in 4th place. So this is where...
Oh, that's such a shame.
Answer for a lot of that, especially again where they had that great start to the split. But it just feels like once more SK are stumbling as we get later into the split. Now 1 game away from elimination. They need to get control here on this bottom side of the map. They need to make sure that they're getting the wins for Exakick so he can step up and be a carry in this game.
Let's just be real. I mean, if SK loses as well, as Niski said on the podcast,
Perks just taking a full channel Q to the face, I guess.
I wouldn't be coming back as Perks and be like, take that. Who's the better C9 mid laner now? I mean, this is a bit of an ego battle through mid. We already set it up before, but you look at the names, Wonder, Yankos, Perks, I mean, even Flacked, 4 ex-G2 members. And then there's Kaiser as well. Once upon a time played with Niski as well, back on the Mad Lions roster. So Dagda, where would you like to start on this one when it's such an important game? We're talking about jungle pathing in the early game, last game, especially with how it was cross-mapping. This time a bit more of a standard start with topside beginning here for Isma and Yankos. And no crazy invades and no crazy level 1s to kick off just yet.
No, but it is still
All right, second sweeper stack, just clearing out these wards. So this is going pretty well for SK.
Yep.
Good job stacking the wave. They're now they're clear. They're doing a
just to try and spot out where there potential is for Yankos to be. So we know that he is going to be going for a full clear on his top side into this.
Why are we doing that? You literally see him? What? You see him. He's right here. There's a ward.
Into your bot.
Like,
Just yet.
No, but it is
don't you
still
know
a
he's at Raptors because you have the ward?
Opportunities for both junglers to make their way down to this bottom side.
Yep.
They
and
ping
then
him?
look for a gank.
Surely they know he's here. They see him with their eyes.
Already with a roam just to try and spot out
Why is
where there potentially
he knows there's a ward here too?
So we know that he is going to be going for a full clear on his top side into this. So I think you'll get a crash here from Exakick and DOS to make sure they can get the bounce back on the 3rd wave.
Act like he can't see him. Yeah, I guess he's pretending he can't see him, except here's the thing, guys. It's not a 5-head play because Yankos knows there's a ward there because he autoed it. So it's not deceptive.
But do we just end up with everyone coming
I don't
to this
understand.
top side?
Maybe I'm missing something.
Small engage, there we go. Ignite as well from DOS. Flackett gets to half, but it's the trade back that's hurting even more. Varus Melio, ladies and gentlemen, there's healing, there's range. DOS runs in and might have regretted that.
Yeah, big time. He's going to have to reset. So the wave will bounce back out. It'll just be a slow push, but you can kind of see where Shin is at the moment, just trying to say, like, hey, I can try and set here. This is dangerous for Exakick to step up this far. There is a ward spot out to Jinzhao if he goes forward, and there's no real setup for Yankos into this bot side, so maybe he just decides to back away, but here you can see the wave is still in a bit of an awkward spot here for Exakick and DOS.
Again, as you mentioned, look, that ward on the tri-brush gives a lot of information.
Full
to SK
clears.
here, so the fact that they can stand here right now is helped because of that, especially when Isma's coming for a possible return gank. Level 4 on the Maokai here, Yankos clearing out his wolves, then he'll be down towards the scuttle, but it's Isma who lands first. It's a small little ward in the form of a cat that comes through. Good seismic shove in the mid lane as we turn our head.
Perks is getting hit by W, I guess.
Niski going at it once again, but trade is pretty much even. The scuttle, by the way, will go to Isma, so the bottom side seems a bit more concrete for SK.
Significantly more mana there for Perks, though, so I think Niski's going to have to call Isma over to get the wave shove, so then he can actually look for the reset. You can see Isma just hovering over towards that mid lane to make sure that nothing does happen. Because I think Perks kind of realized that, look, I can actually just slowly push this one out, get a nice reset for myself, and use the fact I got it. But here we go.
This time he's closer to the turret. You know, game 1, Dagger, he put the Soldier down, and that's where Isma was, straight away in. And Perks had to burn a flash. So this time around is a little bit closer. He's a bit safer as Isma is going to double scuttle. Do you remember the time when double scuttle...
Guys, they're trying to freeze the wave for Talia right now.
You know, you're like, oh, this early game's lost. We've lost both scuttle crabs. And now you're like, oh, yeah, it's a bit of experience, bit of money, $80.
There is like opportunities though to try and
Double
punish him again.
scuttles for
So,
SK.
like, see where Isma's going. He's immediately going to go over towards his Gromp here. He'll be able to reset. Should be able to finish out his wolves and actually hit level 5 just as his.
Nice shove. DOS is here. Actually,
What?
Perks might be dead or
to reset. Should be able to finish out his wolves and actually hit level 5 just as his.
Nice shove.
He literally just...
Grump here.
What?
Should be able to reset. Should be able to finish out his wolves and actually hit level.
He walked up to auto the caster minion with his sand soldiers and then ended up eating the freest W of all time because he didn't have a sand soldier already placed behind him to shifting sands to. Then he gets stunned on the Talia field. And then there's the Q2 back into Q1 because it's short cooldown. Dude, he literally fucking died for a caster minion because he didn't set up his escape route and he didn't press flash.
Go over towards his Grump here. He'll be able to reset.
Dude.
Should be able to finish out his wolves and actually hit level 5 just.
By the way, he doesn't have to do this. Like, just to be super clear for you guys, the wave is not in a place. This caster minion is literally 1 HP. You know, the wave is here. He knows that because he can see his wave here. So this is 1000% crashing into the turret. Right? So it's not like he's concerned about some sort of freeze scenario. He literally just doesn't set up an escape route for himself, even though also he is going to back after this play. Like, once you crash that, you back. He hasn't backed yet. He has TP. So you don't need to worry about conserving mana either. So he plays for what, 14 gold? And he gives up 300. 400. Excuse me, it was first blood. Jesus Christ.
With a perfectly timed first blood.
Yeah, nicely done there by Niski to get the setup and punishing the fact that Perks couldn't get that wave crash. We said Perks had the mana advantage, but needed to try and crash that.
With a perfect nice shove. Dos is here, actually Perks.
And you know what? You know what's even worse, guys? I actually didn't even notice this. You know what's even worse? Because he makes this play, Niski can walk up and he actually gets the freeze. He actually gets the freeze, guys.
Doesn't flash, he knows he's gone. With Dos to match the roam.
He gets it. Because Niski can walk up.
Nicely done there by Niski to get the
Oh my lord.
Perks couldn't get that wave crash. We said Perks had the mana advantage. Wasn't able to do so. Giving over that kill. Yankos though trying to spot it exactly where it is level.
It's unbelievable.
Nice shove. Dos is
You know, he literally can't get that freeze otherwise. Because he doesn't have... He can't trade.
Perks might be dead or a flash. Which one's it going to be? Stone's out. He doesn't flash. He knows he's...
Watch the map prior to the play. Why? Because Rakan just walks away.
Nice shove. Dos is...
Yeah, Rakan just walks away. So they know he's coming, probably. Bot's MIA. And obviously support's going to walk up. He doesn't get seen on the ward, though. He doesn't get... DOS doesn't get seen. This ward's not in range.
Dos is here. Actually, Perks might be dead or a flash. Which one's it going to be? Stone's out.
He's not on the ward.
He knows he's gone. With Dos to match the roam. Niski with a perfectly...
No. He's too far away.
He's gone. Might be dead.
Just as his
Yeah, you don't see this. You don't see the Rakan. No.
Dos is here. Actually, Perks might be dead or
But
a flash.
you know
Which
he's
one's it
there.
gonna be?
You know he's there.
Stone's out.
He's obviously going to come because this is going to bounce back out,
He's gone.
right?
Dos to match the roam. Niski with a perfectly...
Yeah, and Rakan gets an assist too, so it's even more gold. Holy shit.
punishing the fact that Perks couldn't get that wave crash. We said Perks had the mana advantage, but needed to try and crash that wave so then he'd be able to reset. Wasn't able to do so, and ends up giving over that kill.
Yeah, they definitely knew where he was. You don't need the ward to know where he is. He was either recalling or he was walking mid, but since mid is pushed, it's like 90% he's walking mid, right?
He'll get 150 XP, which is going to be great for him. And can just back away. away, but it looks like Isma's not even interested in it, so maybe instead going to look for someone like a dragon off of the reset timer here from Niski.
Have you noticed Isma keeps flashing the Mad Lions Koi logo as well? And, you know, as we know, Giant X, Mad Koi, coming up later after this series. If you didn't get that already, also fighting for their lives here in another BO3. One elimination, one going home, I should say. So maybe just a bit of respect from Isma. Also playing with Niski, we'll do that with you as well.
Also, a lot of his ex-teammates from, obviously, Riders, obviously on Mad Lions Koi. So there's still a lot of, like, you know, camaraderie between those, those two sides. Yeah.
At that point.
Ah, bless.
Look, Isma, yes, we see you, Isma. We see you indeed. Relevant just popping the ulti top, but you look at the map, you look at the scores, Dagda. Early game is smooth again here for SK, even without the dive. This time maybe even a bit of damage on Kaiser as Emilio. A soccer kick comes out. That could be messy. We don't know who's playing at the computer, but Kaiser at the very least, negating that dive while Dragon goes down. Yeah, punts him back.
Every time he says Isma, I keep thinking of the old lady from the Emperor's New Groove. I said that the first time at the start of the season, guys. I said, like, I can't, I just can't. DOS needs to rename to Kronk.
Yeah, I think the fact that it is going a little
might be actually kind of thematically appropriate for DOS too. You guys decide what I mean by that. You guys decide what I mean by that.
And I think a lot of these objective fights are going to come down to Niski trying to split up Heretics when it comes towards like the Weaver's Wall, separate the front and back line, so then it's a bit difficult for them to try and play, especially like short-range AD carry.
Dartos, wow, thank you for the subscription. Yes, he has a chiseled chin and he likes squirrels. Yep, you nailed it. That's what I mean. When I compare DOS to Kronk, that's what I mean. Sounds like Patrick Warburton. I wish I could sound like Patrick Warburton, to be fair. Slightly Charmin. Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. He can't be trusted to get rid of a body. That's a good one, too.
You can start to go, right, Ismail, let's actually get in the face of Jankos. Yes, you'll lose out in the 1v1, but we have pushed...
You all said that awful take that Emperor's New Groove was better than Atlantis or Treasure Planet. No, that's the correct take. I'm sorry. I have to break your heart like this, Naja fan. It is, in fact, the best Disney movie. And we'll agree that Atlantis and Treasure Planet are underrated, but Emperor's New Groove is 10x as good.
But to be fair,
just got into the stream. Thank you.
Niski's good doing this and this and this, and then Dagda, nothing happened. So, you know, I've done this multiple games where I've come in and talked up Niski, but then it hasn't translated throughout the game or something's gone wrong. So I'm gonna pull back. I'm gonna be like, let's just wait and see what happens here, especially with Perk's last game. You know, having one of his better performances, I feel like in the past, I don't know however long. Especially with how Team Heretics were able to close out that game once they had an edge, once they found that full-on team fight. We still see a big team fighting comp once again here with the on-hit virus. And a game also going slow ain't the worst for Team Heretics when we look at the long con, when we look at the next 20 minutes, if it can go like this.
But here we go, this is what we're talking about, right? Unlock DOS, unlock Isma, move with Niski to get your Weaver's Wall and just put pressure onto Jankos. I really like this play, and you can see here, Jankos going to immediately find some hurt, but actually going to turn onto Perks there.
DOS gets out thanks to Niski. Kaiser's moving up. Level 6 on Flacket as well. We look at this bottom lane 1v1. Flacket flashes over the wall. Niski comes in with a Weaver's Wall. Kaiser gets a fire out. He has to flash on top of that as well. SK play the aggressive.
Get invaded by SK though.
Irrelevant versus Wonder is heating up as well, but nobody dies. We just wait to see if Irrelevant goes any further.
He just wants to get this plate, make sure, there you go. Gets the Demolish proc off, and a nice stun on the way out, Wonder.
Wonder?
Here. Yeah.
Hyper, but not enough damage, as you said. Wonder also leveled up, which helps stop that dive.
But with Flacket being pushed on this bot side, now the X-Kick gets...
Monty's Disney movie takes are just bad now. I'm sorry, they're actually really good takes. you not liking the Emperor's New Groove is a deep personal fault of your own. I hate to tell you this.
You've already taken all these camps on the bot side, then one of respawn as well in time for Dragon. So there's a lot of opportunities now for SK to try and play for second Dragon, which is why we see Jankos up in this top side going, cool, I'm going to make sure we get 6 of these Void Grubs just try and answer for that play.
Well, the XP at least are going to be in his advantage somewhat. I'm looking at the sidebars. Should be matching what Isma has at the moment. Gold slightly going towards him, but 6 grubs here for Team Heretics. note the 1k gold lead, because you can see on the bottom of your map, or at least on the bottom bar, the individual leads in top side, thanks to Irrelevant's 20 CS lead. Even despite Niski being down CS, naturally that first blood gave him an edge as well. And bot, small CS lead for XKick. So once again, we're saying the same things about this early game for SK. And Dagda, you know, Niski trying to be aggressive here. With
Why do we even have that lever? So fucking funny, that movie. My wife hates it. My wife hates that movie because she hates David Spade. And I said, yes, we all hate David Spade, but that's why he's perfect in that movie. Like, I can't imagine anybody but David Spade being in that role. It was perfect casting.
And then can use that as an angle to get in towards mid. So you can see SK trying to respond here by just completely...
Iron Giant is in a Disney movie, Saber Axe, get it together.
Yeah, I think a little bit of a...
Fucking get it together, Saber Axe. We're talking about Disney movies.
And it does mean Perks has to defend mid. But I think Wonder could TP down here if they want to try and make something happen. But it looks like they're just going to back away.
Maybe see if they can get individual leads, because Dragon is gone, Ren helps with that, and Smite as well. Kaiser gets slowed down.
It is a great movie, though.
Kaiser running for his life. Dos goes into the quickness of fire.
All right, this game is going so much better. See, SK actually has their eyes on the prize with the Drake stacking and the Callista comps this time.
Kaiser running for his life. Dos goes into the quickness. The fire's out. Yankos is out. Jumps back in. Bates call from XKick. Looking for a...
Oh my god. Holy schmoly. Oh my lord. They what now they have the damage in the tri-brush, guys. Perks actually just getting free kills though. I mean, you should not go in on this while Irrelevant's going to be mega, guys. You should not do that. You should not do that. All right, well, it was good for 5 seconds for Heretics.
This time they find the fight, they find the kills and get the dragon. Heretics try desperately to find their moment. It looks like with Perks,
I have a childhood bias towards a bug life. You mean 7 Samurai for children?
But it just wasn't enough. Kaiser ults here to disengage. Yankos goes in, but XKick pulls
Literally just a Kurosawa ripoff with bugs.
knock back into knock up from DOS, decimates them, and then Perks here gets the 2 kills on the bottom side. Think, right, let's back away from this one. And I think at this stage you would have been happy, but Wonder thinks he has the angle. But Flackett is on bot side. He's too low to really get into this. Remember, it's on hit Varus. Not going to have a huge amount of poke he can deal from range. And then Irrelevant getting that flash just on towards Perks as well. I think to Heretics, they covered well, but they just needed the...
Everyone rips off Kurosawa. Yeah, I mean, the new shitty Rebel Moon movie is also 7 Samurai. We actually have 4 7 Samurai movies, guys. We have 7 Samurai, Magnificent 7, A Bug's Life, and now Rebel Moon. They're all 7 Samurai, and all of them are worse than 7 Samurai. Even though Magnificent 7 is very good. And also A Bug's Life is good. Rebel Moon is terrible, though.
Niski picks up one as well. Note the gold lead. But the fact that Dagger, I thought we're just going through deja vu, like, oh no, Wonder from an angle. Team fight again. But the individual damage came through, and now we have a Trinity Force now. Now we have an Archangels on Niski getting close towards Seraph's Embrace. We're getting 1 items for Team Heretics too, but we know that if this comp starts snowballing, it's going to be hard to control, especially in the side lanes. Wonder's going to 1v2. DOS goes to the dive, takes 2 turret shots, but Niski's damage, nothing to frown at. Wonder has to get out of there as Nature's Grasp bottom side. Perks flows with him. Isma went on a wild ride. Irrelevant now to Meganar, but Perks is away. The spectators, we went on a ride just watching that as the fly over the wall.
Yeah, I mean, great play from Perks to get over that wall. I was convinced he was going to die on that one, but I mean, SK feeling confident.
Is Lion King the best version of Hamlet? No. Hamlet is the greatest piece of Western literature.
I think this is the advantage that you have again.
Probably, I'm comfortable. It's the greatest piece of literature, period. So no, it's not better. Categorically, every other piece of media is worse than Hamlet. I'm sorry, guys. Everything is worse than Hamlet.
Because you are in a little bit of a late reset here for SK for that, especially with DOS now on the bottom side. Mages up to disrupt, but I think that might be the go button then for Ripchild if DOS is spotted.
Perks' back is cancelled. Pings are going down. I mean, DOS really wants to do this. Quickness is up. No flash available, but Perks is like, I'm on the edge here. I'm not sure how I feel. There goes a soldier, sees DOS, does a bit of damage, while Irrelevant used that pressure to get first turret blood. In the bot side, push them to 3k, and set themselves up for more priority down bot, especially with Dragon coming in a minute 45.
Yeah, Heretics trying to connect on towards mid lane though. Doss will be spot.
Quickness. Oh, that's used before a fight comes up. Perks are under turret though. Almost getting solo killed. Irrelevance damage massive. But Yankos coming in wants Perks to follow this up. However, there's too much damage. Perks could die if they go any further.
What's the best film version of Hamlet? I mean, there's a bazillion good ones. I like the Kenneth Branagh one, honestly.
They don't realize Doss is still there, relevant.
Even though he does do the stupid sword throwing
This is a big play.
at the end.
Of getting through to these kills, but Turret's going to stand strong. Herald's going to go down to SK.
The Hall of Mirrors scene is such a banger in that one.
Still a teleport for Niski to join in if he so chooses.
The rapier throwing is 0 out of 10, though.
Himself as well. SK
Sneaky Steven, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub.
Wonder to abandon topside because he knew that everyone on Heretics was bot lane, and with the TP just coming up in time for Niski, he would have been able to join in that bot side play if they went for the dive. So SK kind of called the bluff, say, what are you going to do about it? We're not giving up this bot lane turret. And they're still getting extra kick, solo farm in the mid lane as well, so he's starting to gain a couple of levels for himself. And you see in the gold lead there, 3 members of SK all looking very
Star Wars,
good.
K Grew on YouTube says Star Wars was a Hidden Fortress ripoff. True.
we touched on as much with topside. You know,
What about League this year excites me the most?
always going to play the fight.
I don't know. The new map's pretty cool. I like the Void Grub objectives. I think the changes are interesting.
Right, good push, good opportunities, but also good setup.
Freddy Got Fingered. Freddy Got Fingered is... Here's another controversial take for you guys. Freddy Got Fingered actually, I think, has aged very well. I actually think that movie was not, like, misunderstood when it came out.
There you go. Look at the wall down. How do we get past that? SK say we need to build a wall. Team Heretics are on the wrong side of it.
Like, Starship Troopers was horribly misunderstood when it came out.
And a flash from Niski. We get past to really set up the fight for SK if they choose to make that play.
I'm not sure what this wall setup is for here. You have to Maokai ult now. Maokai ult now. Now. Okay, we just flash out because Maokai isn't ulting. And Doss isn't ulting. I guess they bailed when they saw the TP. They bailed when they saw the TP.
SK say we need to build a wall. Team Heretics are on the wrong side of it. Kaiser now comes through. But that's the Weaver's wall down. And a flash from Niski. I was just complimenting the team, Dagda. That's a big tool town.
I mean, it's TP from Wonder, but you're kind of wanted that anyway to come in. Irrelevant now, separated from the team. So they're just going to look. Maybe it's give Dragon for mid, which is not the end of the world.
If they can get 2 turrets mid, this is actually worth.
No ultimate and no flash. How far do they want to go, though?
Get in the Herald again. Why not? This time, Niski the driver. Okay, brother. All right. Niski did not get his license. Don't tell anyone.
You definitely drive that in because you have Maokai ult, right? To disengage if you need it.
Their third dragon here. Isma's the only one starting it, as the rest of SK are trying to bait and switch, but they're not there yet.
Good pressure into mid lane. Relevant still has... Now he's able to get his rage bar again. The cooldown is up.
This was your chance to try and find it, but just not feeling confident. It worked out.
Well played by SK, honestly.
Like, look, we don't need to try and throw these leads in the early stages, or sorry, throw these like 50-50 or even like 70-30 plays. Let's just see if we can look instead to take a much more even footing as we start to get towards Perk's late game, where he's free farm, where he's got to his 3 items. Looking towards Flacket as well, we kind of said he wants to go up towards Squinsus, then get another item for himself as well. So.
I like how Dagda says Gwynsus.
There are some moments where they could probably push a little bit.
For Team Heretics, just knowing how far they are behind, maybe scattering them a bit. Because Soul's coming up team right now who can't have access to sidelines. Playing on
I like how Ginsu just got memory hold, guys. He went crazy on Twitter, and then nobody knows where he is now.
It feels like you're not even talking about Void Grubs right now because they don't matter. It's a 5k gold lead, just about, for SK. A much better game 2 so far. And Dagda, we are gearing up for a Baron in 110. They have Callista. They've got a bit of
Let me know if you guys figure out whatever happened to Ginsu. For all I know, he's still working at Riot.
Such a lack of vision control for Team Heretics, now getting forced out in this top side as we're seeing on our screen.
Yeah, I met him at Riot in closed beta, and then he went completely bananas on Twitter.
Much easier for the Kazante to get value in a fight.
Years ago. And I have no idea where he is now.
Especially if you got flashes on Perks and Flakkid, how Irrelevant plays these fights. Because if you can get a Niski wall to set up Irrelevant, brilliant. That could easily be the game-winning play. But it is also kind of difficult if you're trying to flash out on the back line and Flakkid flashes away.
Works at Hidden Leaf Games, working on a MOBA game. I mean, he must have made tens of millions of dollars from Riot. So, sure he's set for life. Mr. Pack 28, thank you for Twitch Prime sub.
Offering the heals and shields and CC immunity that is ult offers.
So he's saying it's not done yet. It's definitely still on the cusp. Still definitely.
I think SK are definitely in the drive here, sees.
You hope so at 5k gold, you know.
And they do have the opportunity, as you say, to like play through sides. But if they fumble, it's very quick and very easy for Heretics to try and turn that one around, right? And at the moment, it's like, okay, well, we've got a short-range Kalista in mid, so can't really threaten mid-turret.
Yep.
So it's more push mid into play 4 sides. And I think at the moment, Irrelevant actually has a very big lead in the 1v1 against Wunder, so you can probably leave him on his own. So it is more to go, hey, we'll push mid into play with Niski on top side. But that's why you can kind of see a lot of members of Heretics playing on this top end of the map to make sure you're able to set up with Niski. To punish Niski if he overextends before the mid wave's in the correct position. And at the moment, SK haven't really synced up mid and top side correctly.
It feels like now with the waves, at least they'll both be crashing in a moment. But you're right about syncing. A little bit behind. I'd say a second or two with X-Kick now going mid. That Baron is now up and available. You know what I'm more curious about? I'm curious about what happens. Well, I was going to say bot. Now let's look top. Weaver's wall. Out they go. Ulting through a lot for Perks, but they need to finish the kill. He flashes. He tries to shuffle over. He doesn't execute.
Nice charm.
He does not execute. Instead, executed himself.
See, see the difference between this guys? Now they're able to actually isolate targets in order to get these picks. Big Q from Maokai. Oh, XK flashing forward. Nice flash forward. Very nice flash forward.
Never mind. Niski finds a kill. SK still on top. And these fights have been.
Now we Baron.
Step too far away from the
Perks, but that Baron is now up and available.
But now they're actually trying to, you know, use these picks or use their team comp to create picks. Playing into the side lane. Oh, Perks, no. Oh, man. Perks' mechanics have looked rough this series. Some of his decision-making has been fine, guys, but when it came to some of these mechanical plays, like having that flash up in the first game or shifting sands over the wall there, it's been rough.
Never mind. Niski finds a kill. SK still on top. And these fights have been like a bipolar event for me, Dagda. What is going on?
I mean, Heretics, the second they leave top was just unfortunate.
Niski should have died, did not. Irrelevant came in and blew him apart. And SK now with the Baron. This game feels like it should be going to game 3 after this fight.
I assume you went the 1960 Magnificent 7. They made another Magnificent 7? So they remade the 7 Samurai remake? Post-modernity is fucking hell, dude. Now we're just remaking remakes. Fuck life. Come up with something original.
Imagine you having his ear in this fight, but how low all the health bars for SK are going, right? This is why I'm saying I think there's still moments where Heretics could have come back.
What are my favorite sandwiches? I don't know. I love sandwiches.
Winning this fight is massive for them.
I'm eating a tuna salad sandwich that I made now. It's delicious.
Isma's feeling it. I mean, we're going to a game 3, it feels like right now. We're at 8K. 8K for SK. They've got a Dragon Soul coming up in 10 seconds. That'll be theirs too. You can see Perks is trying to angle for a flank. One last hurrah in this game to get an angle and get a pick and slow it down again. But look at the pace SK are bringing now to the top side.
I don't think you want to do it on a Mega Nard though. It's like, wait, send them in. It's like, wait, no, sorry. That was not the guy.
Very true.
SK with the pushing mid now will meet you move over.
Ruben is pretty solid.
Dragon will go towards Heretics, but
big fan of Ruben's.
All
right, this is over.
Because you got top leaves that you can play with, so just trying to see if they can clear it this way.
You know, I think when in SK's case, like, it just seemed like they were surprised by the lack of damage in their own composition, because I think if that comp is slightly different, like it is this time, because I don't blame them for some of the decisions they made, they just didn't actually have the damage to follow it up. And they reevaluated this. Now you have the Talia. You're actually more of a pick composition this time. You can use the Callista better. It's been a much better game. Like, credit to SK, I think they played this pretty well. What if I told you this game goes 45 minutes? No. That's not possible because the VOD is only 16 minutes longer and we're at 25 minutes in game time. So you're trolling me. Turkey, cranberry, and cream cheese sandwich. Oh, man. So last Thanksgiving that I was in the States, you guys will love this. So I love post-Thanksgiving sandwiches. I was making, like, horrible sandwiches that are horrible for you, but delicious. I was using, like, sourdough bread to make turkey stuffing cranberry sauce sandwiches with brie, cheese, and lettuce. They were delicious. They were delicious.
This is a strong game too from SK to bring themselves back into this.
Yeah, it's a real defining stand.
The brie cheese was really like what pulled it all together.
Small windows, a lot of draft discussion, I think, from game one, from people everywhere, and game two, better options, better utility, better escape tools as well. I mean that for escape conditions of the
and mayo, obviously. You gotta slam the mayo on there.
SK adjust well within the series.
It's horrible for you, but it is good.
See what they can do differently because their early game got botched. SK just used so much of that power coming through from Maokai dive, but I think Niski's tools as well to accelerate the game even further than last time, and last time he included a dive.
Yeah, and I mean, it could have been, again, a very similar story where if Heretics had won that bot side fight where they
why not 2x speed in lull states? Because, like, I just flip forward by 10 seconds. It's actually faster than 2x speed.
And there's just not much they can do. There's the Weaver's wall again. Zones off mid. Wonder almost gets caught between it. Now,
so nobody actually attacks. Nobody actually attacks the turret while we're on the Weaver's wall. Now they get hit by Chain of Corruption, and so the Callista gets rooted, has to pull back, gets engaged on by Kasante and Xin Zhao. Okay.
Almost dies to the right. Perks now free firing away as Irrelevant gets poked out, but man, wonders Kasante with Flackett's virus. It came together.
So as he went for the Weaver's wall, they were like, cool, let's just try and get you on this overextension. And Exekick was the one that got caught with a nice Chain of Corruption for Flacket, but now he's dead for next Dragon. So no soul for Heretic. Rough for them to try and just solo that.
How quickly without the Callista, right? Also no summoners, Dragon.
You guys, but we're just going to go straight for the Baron, and Heretics, we're convinced SK were about to commit onto that fight at the Dragon.
Oh, Yankos just used E. He just used Audacious Charge. Yankos just used his engage tool. Ulti's now going to...
Heretics, we're convinced SK were about to commit onto that fight at the
Yankos?
Oh, Yankos just used E. He just used Audacious Charge.
Why is he using E into the wave?
Ulti's now going to...
Like, you know they just took Baron, right? You're not even on the wave. You're doing wolves. Then you walk into the wave, even though they could be mid. That's not, I mean, he shouldn't even be in the mid wave by himself. Now, you can't even clear it fast if you're a Xin Zhao. Especially not, you know, he doesn't have Hydra. He doesn't have Ravenous Hydra, which is like the way that Xin Zhao would quickly clear that wave.
Well, another inhibitor going to drop topside in the meanwhile. Baron is up for 2 minutes 15. It's going to be hard defense unless Perks gets the alley-oop, unless Wonder's able to follow through and do the same. Lower health bars on Isma and Niski. It's crazy.
Yeah, I can just back off. Like,
so the slow burn in the meanwhile. Shield slowly burning as well as he dodges away from being stunned up with a shove. Niski's damage.
He's gonna wait for Soul. No, Rel needs to get split push. Okay.
of SK are looking to come through mid. One turret
Nice
down.
job.
Relevance also push the minion wave in as the teleport comes through. It's Niski to rejoin with a Rabadon's death cap, I bet. SK is a 5-man trying to make this a game 5. Perks sidesteps though. SK just need to finish the job. As Wonder's still an engaged threat, his ghost is down. He steps forward, but it's no flip back. A
Baron's off.
Replace the one lost. DOS is down here. It's all over the place. We're doing this. SK are doing with their pants
through from SK. They're going to turn onto Perks.
Weaver's wall comes through. Perks is just
Top wave coming through. Bot lane has been abandoned altogether. Perks just going to keep it off of that bot lane, but SK, they're going to turn on to Perks.
Weaver's wall comes through. Perks is just out there. Oh, he just walks it out.
I don't know why I think the Weaver's wall should just be behind the turret there.
Yanko sends his out. Irrelevant can't end the game. We're still here. Flushes away from the seismic shove. Okay.
You are tough for you.
Yeah, just gonna go for Infernal Soul. Okay, get Infernal Soul check.
In one element, the Infernal Soul gives a bit of oomph. It should end this game as one other shifting.
No, they're gonna go for Baron. This is the correct play.
Island ultis, right? Engage. Down.
What is Jankos doing?
In front of the Baron. Late game Kalista does this so easily. Heretics are here. And now surely SK can find something, right?
Yep, just gets engaged down over the wall.
Damage from Niski. Ow, it burns, he says, as teleport comes in from over the wall. Weaver's wall now. Yankos on an island.
Just gets cut off.
What are we doing? Where are we going? A shove backwards. Yankos about to die. Poked out. Flashes away.
Ask the flash, uses absolutely everything, including Milio ult.
Just trying to put pressure on the bot lane tower. He will give some fancy people. He will surely go down here. Drag. Baron is going to be
Trying to get out.
SK though, they're going to be happy to trade it. Relevance life for us.
He's got a shield. He's slowed down. The ulti from Perks was
Oh my god.
gets away. Dagger, you are solo casting this, I swear. Into the wall. Perks get the
Oh, they get him.
The Baron goes down. Ladies and gentlemen, do you believe?
I tell him we're going to make sure.
He's got
Now they can't split push with Baron buff. We have to wait for Irrelevant. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Weaver's wall. Yes, yes. Good isolation. Misses W. Charm. All right. Fate's Call saves him. Spits him back out. Jesus.
Even there. Oh, he's dead. The back line, but you're underneath the turret, so you can't really overextend. Now, Heretics, this is where it gets dangerous. Trying to see
So they know they're there. And Yankos just walks straight into a Talia combo.
Oh, he's dead. Yankos is dead. But what is
now, Heretics, this is where
They literally see them there. There's a
trying
ward.
to see if they can get vision control in this top
is
side.
where?
Yankos.
Why? Why?
Yankos? No. Oh, he's dead. No.
Now we're done. Now we're done, guys.
Kilometers more to go if we go based off that.
We took a wrong turn somewhere along the way, but SK. They managed to
Finally,
close it.
37-minute game.
Made them work.
Wasn't quite 20 more minutes, but
What's gonna happen
it's
in
close.
number 3? 'Cause I have no bloody idea. But
Yankos was good last year.
We're going into the full-on house music for this one. It's a final game, final draft. Heretics or SK, what's it going to be? Maokai taking off the borders. Remember, Team Heretics did pick the blue side. They've also taken away Irrelevance Jax, which has not been given all series long.
Garbage games today. Raccoons are feasting.
For Flacket.
now try and go for the plays into the face of Isma, especially with the Maokai being banned away. Yeah, be the Kalista pickup. Maybe we get the response here with the well, actually, I wonder.
Now for the bad one, as opposed to the other ones that weren't bad. All right. So we're still getting the Seraphina and Karma banned. Irrelevance Jax is banned. Now we have a Maokai ban. And we're going to first pick Callisto one more time. So we'll go ahead and take Draven. Will be the Nautilus pickup. So securing support right there. Rel is going to be Flex. Azir taken away from Perks. Vi also selected after seeing Draven.
I think on the other side, what's more crazy is the fact that
Milio can knock Vi away though during Vi Q. So it's gonna be a top lane pick. Okay, so we have 2 flexes. This is an interesting draft from SK, right? This could be top or jungle. This could be supporter jungle. So right now, lots of question marks on the last 2 picks. You love to see these kind of deceptive drafts. Case Wonder takes Zac. Yes, Hui was banned. Now we get to see Perks' Hui. And just a safe Gnar pickup. And Malphite into Gnar. Okay. This is supposed to be a punish onto the Hui and possibly the Kalista. Right?
Know if this was the angle for Hui. I think he needs more kind of a, hey, I can play very far away and Zac can engage to set up for that play, or I need something that's going to be able to...
Yeah, Kalista also just won't do anything to Malphite. Tough lane, though. Tough lane, you'd think, versus Gnar.
We have changed the drafts. We're not to full scaling to losing out the map like
one shot of someone on the back line.
So that could
engage that money ankle.
How it ends. As we go to game 3, a quick reminder to you all, loser is out. Going home, done. Completely off the board until spring. He's going to take some good damage from Wonder. In the meantime, just push him down, but 40 seconds means he's fine to go back and heal up and come back out for his first clear.
Yeah, Relevant got to spot out Wonder, take a little bit of hurt himself, but I don't think it's really going to mean too much in the long run. Wonder will have push in topside, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Isma start up onto this topside jungle, which is why we see Heretics just placing a ward there to spot out the poppies and make his way through his jungle. I'd imagine he'll go like red, Krugs, Raptors down into that bottom side of the map and making sure that then he's able to play towards what is going to be a very explosive bottom lane. You can see even the double ignite and the hail of blades as well for Exekick means that they're going to be looking to very quickly turn the tides of this bot lane in their favor.
Oh yeah, we know Draven lane, Kalista lane, whoever comes out of that lane alive probably going to start running the game. It's what the death set.
Super strong engage on SK side, though.
DOS versus Flacket and Kais is a very important lane.
You know, the thing you have to remember with Gnar is that Gnar is really secondary engage, guys. So, you know, if there isn't a good Vi ult here or potentially a good Nautilus ult, you're not going to have very good setup for the Gnar in team fights. I think what's a little bit weird here is that, again, this is screaming like pick comp. You know, you can use Hui's range to get some kills and like put down long range damage, which allows you to kind of, you know, follow up on potential Vi, Nautilus, Kalista engages. The Gnar is not the greatest in pick comps, but I think they picked this because SK's draft was very deceptive in terms of who was going where. So they wanted just kind of a all-round safe laner. But honestly, the team fighting of Heretics is going to be a little bit janky. And I'm not even sure they're really going to be able to do much when it comes to early Drakes because, you know, this trio of Poppy, you know, if you're going to pick the Kalista, like why you would not ban the Poppy is like fucking psycho to me. You know what I mean? No, Cassante was not banned. But if you show Kalista, oh, Cassante was banned and Alistar was banned here. You have to ban Poppy. Like this is not it. Like first off, you see this flex, so you know that there's going to be a possible flex option in R5, right? R5 is going to be a flex. And if you ban Cassante, like maybe you don't want them picking Cassante here, but Poppy is crazy value here. You can stop Vi Q, you can stop Hook, and most importantly, you stop Kalista from moving. So I think what you know, I think you just have to say like, we want to pick Cassante here. Or here, obviously, whatever, on this phase of the draft. Because this is not it. Like, you cannot take Kalista and leave Poppy up. Because you're also dealing with what is effectively a very, very strong... You're dealing with a very strong bot lane. Because you do not win this 3v3. If you're Heretics, and losing the 3v3 is really rough because you need to win it to take drag, right?
But level 2 important here to see who gets it first.
So I think this is going to be super hard.
The aggression to play off. And should be
Because
using that
there's
now.
almost nothing that's going to prevent Isma. Okay, Isma's doing the he's doing the peanut, guys. This is really smart. He's doing the peanut, which is bypass ward. So he takes camp. Let's talk about the pathing here. So he takes red, right? Hits level 2. Now, they don't see him on Raptors, so they assume he's here, right? They assume he's here on Krugs. Remember, what is Vi before level 3? Turd. So the thing is you do not need level 3 on Poppy. Because level 3, you get W. But, riddle me this, guys. If Jankos is only level 2, and he's not going to get level 3 because he doesn't have Flash, or he doesn't have Smite, rather. Why do you need W if Vi does not have Q? You don't. You don't. So normally you wouldn't level 2 gank as Poppy. But in this circumstance, in this matchup of Poppy versus Vi,
This could be the biggest Chad move ever. If it plays off, the ward is down.
Nobody has.
Yankos needs to leave. He grieves this. He has to flash. He has to flash. He has to flash. Okay.
Grump almost kills Yankos. Isma now has a Grump. That is
He had to flash earlier, guys. He almost died.
He's waiting it out. He'll take it. Isma is the biggest Chad I've seen in the LEC this year.
So fucking smart by Isma, by the way.
Get the summoner spell off the back of that is amazing. Now Niski and Perks trading heavily in the mid lane, but Perks has to be careful. You don't have help.
That's how you play that matchup. So smart, guys. They had the deep ward in too, so they knew that Vi started blue into Grump. It's really good. Punish Vi early. Name of the game.
What a guy. I mean, we talked about the aggression of him. That kind of shows at new level. It's funny because like that felt like Bo FPX vibes as Hex Flash. Just wants to get through. Where are we going? Yankos is back out. The shove doesn't hit the wall. Hang on a minute.
Doesn't have Q. He can't do shit.
Poppy still does damage. Yeah, you're right. Doss is coming in to help. He controls the map. He's in Yankos' head right now.
Dude, Isma's just chatting all over him. This is such good Poppy play. As a Poppy enthusiast, I'm fucking hard, guys.
You see that he's taking it. Doss is still here to help. No, are missing bot lane, so they don't feel like they can really go for this. But as soon as you see Kalista and Nautilus showing that wave again, Isma's going to start up this red buff and make sure that he's able to keep control here.
Yankos also cannot hit. He's taken 2 camps, so he can't hit 3.
Niski, good push on mid, level advantage as well. So Yanko still level 2, going to try and fight this. Doss spots out Kaiser.
Hex Flash, remember.
No. Okay, Isma needs to go. Okay. Stops the engage. Yankos again. Now, oh my god, really? He overplayed his hand, guys. Flash in from Kaiser. Does get the W, but still pulls him back. X-Kick just not here. Man.
Doss spots out Kaiser.
Hex Flash, remember, is
He's able to keep control here. Niski.
I wish they would click on Poppy. Here's the mistake he makes, guys. Here's the mistake he makes. He uses E right here. You cannot use E. You can't use E on the creep. Okay? Because you need E to CC or to escape. Okay, so his E is on cooldown right now. He needs E to E Kaiser right now. Because at least he gets over and goes to Draven in that case. But he doesn't have E. So he's dead. Here's the rule of Poppy Jungle. Do not use E if danger. You need E. And the damage it does to that camp is just not worth that. I think he lives if he doesn't use E.
That's karma immediately for first blood over to Flackett.
Exekick just trying to get that wave push meant that he wasn't able to come across, and the fact that Flackett and Kaiser were willing to drop that push on bot, know that Exekick wasn't going to be able to really push that quickly, means that they're able to come across and help him out. So realistically, Kaiser and Flackett lose nothing, but they get that kill. And Isma, look, you're even Stevens.
It's obviously super good for the bot side of Heretics.
That kill to Flackett is going to help him out a lot.
As you said, it's more than just jungle getting caught out there being cocky. As you said, it's
If he goes towards Draven, they win that 3v3. Only if he has E. He literally can't get there without E. Because he just gets hooked by Nautilus. He doesn't have a choice. If he has E, then he can get to Draven. And they win that. But he trolled by using E on red.
But there's nothing in the bottom side. Bottom has been completely cleared, and Yankos was able to get his back off.
He trolled because E was on cooldown, guys.
Now to see what he can spot. Will realize that there's a pink ward there, so immediately they know where he is. Niski gonna take a little bit of hurt, but watch boss. Wave is gonna push in again. Yanko's trying to make his way down to this bottom side. Isma still has no flash. Spot on the ward. I don't know if you can go for this. Yankos will just about be here in time.
Another ward there to spot. Flackett low on mana, but as you said, Yankos here to match. And XP now even as irrelevant is running down Wonder.
Oh no.
The Team Heretics top laner trying to get out, but he
Oh! Why did he use flash?
name him right. Spot. Flackett low on mana, but as you said, Yankos.
How do you... How? How does this happen? He's not even 6. You have fleet footwork. He's not 6. How is this possible? I actually do not understand how this is even possible.
Yankos here to match. And XP now even as irrelevant is running down Wonder.
Oh no.
The team
He literally gets tagged by the auto after he flies. There's the auto animation. Boom. He just gets autoed.
Name him relevant already. It's been so every single day.
The fact that this Malphite is getting the kill onto Nara is not the best of signs for Wonder.
No.
Solo killed last week. Now getting solo killed this week. Perk's already been solo killed once. Does not want to make it twice. As Niski very, very close. Still has his flash, so going to be fine in that one. But you're solo
Did he
killed
greed for a
last time,
plate?
so Exekick
Like,
And you got to give respect.
do we see... Oh, here's the replay. No, that's not a replay. It's him hitting 6 and then chasing Wonder down. Okay, we just don't get a replay? Fine. By the way, guys, LEC production, just as good as it was before the layoffs. That's what Twitter tells me. Lil Monty, you were wrong. Nothing changed. Don't even get a replay of that, I guess. Very cool.
No, if you can go for this. Yankos will just about be here in time.
Another ward there.
But I don't
No, he doesn't even get a plate.
go for this. Yankos will just about be here in time.
He's just greeting for minions.
Flackett low on mana, but
Was it frozen?
for the main from DOS.
It's really hard to tell.
Flackett and Kaiser dropping the
Yeah, it
ward.
was frozen.
Also drop summoners, but
Okay, that's pretty annoying. So he's actually able to trade really effectively
that first
because
blood
this is
leads
frozen.
up to 200 gold. Push
And he has a Doran's Ring for mana regen, so I guess he just gets hit by a Q spam.
He's on the edge of potentially going back in, but there's nothing in the bottom side. Bottom has been completely cleared, and Yankos was able to get his back off.
Isma just wandering into this bottom side now to see what he can spot. Will be spot on the ward.
So the wave gets frozen, and Wonder is antsy about that.
Another ward
And then because Doran's Ring, he just gets a million Qs onto him.
match, and XP now even as irrelevant is running.
He misses his boomerang, like he doesn't catch it.
Summoners, but that first blood leads him up with 200 gold. Pushes Isma out of the
He
jungle.
that's probably true. It's a good insight.
He's on the edge of
It's a good insight, Matty, man.
nothing in the bottom side.
Possible.
Bottom has been completely cleared, and Yankos was able to get his back off.
Isma just wandering into this bottom side now to see what he can spot.
I wish we had replays so I could just look with my eyes and look at his cooldowns.
Pushing again. Yanko's trying to make his way down to this bottom side. Isma still has no flash. Spot on the ward. But I don't know if you can go for this. Yankos will just about be here in time.
Another ward there to spot. Flackett low on mana, but as you said, Yankos here to match. And XP now.
He may have thrown boomerang, got hit by Q, so maybe he wasn't fast enough to catch it.
Irrelevant is running down Wonder.
Maybe that's what happened.
Top laner trying to get out, but he gets killed. Name him
Horrific
relevant
flash,
already.
though.
It's been so every
Do the
single
teams
day.
get replays? Yes, the teams have replays.
This Malphite is getting the kill onto Nara is not the best of signs for Wonder.
No.
Solo killed last week. Now getting solo killed this week. Perk's already been solo killed once. Does not want to make it twice. As
No,
Niski
just gives him
there,
mana, though.
Still has his flash, so going to be fine in that one. But you're getting a plate on that bottom side, so Exekick, even though you have the kill going over towards Flakked, in the early stages, still evening up a lot of that thanks to CS lead and the plate that he's managed to get.
So early game's still even, but so much has happened. And you got to give respect to Isma how he's played it out, but now not only him, Irrelevant running down the Narn. We already talked about the team fight capabilities, how easy it is for SK to run down this comp as it goes on. Seeing the lane off to a bad start for Wonder is like, well, a bit of a kick in the shin.
But this is the thing, I mean, for Isma to come in, it's elimination game for SK, and you say, I'm going to flash over Baron Pit to chase into Jankos' jungle, the most, like, from a longevity perspective, the jungler of the LEC. And he's like, cool, I'm going to go and sandwich him in against the wall in his own jungle. Like, that's absolutely incredible. But did end up coming back to backfire, but I got to love the gusto and give props to him. If he can now keep this pressure up, where he keeps going towards his bottom side, it could work out. Wonder will need help though. Irrelevant still has the level 6. I think he's fine.
As you said, the ulti to come through. Irrelevant pops it. Jankos tries to match, but he's just outside of range. Picture bottom side sees that X kicks in a bit of trouble, but it could be Kaiser gets traded off. Draven's down through. A bit of burn damage from the end of the ignite. X kick now has.
Thoughts on Fearless Draft? Fine for amateur to expand players' champ pools. Fucking terrible for professional. Fucking terrible. The only people who want that at the professional level are little clapping monkeys who can't get entertainment out of champions being played well, but who just need to see new champions being played badly. Also, why are we punishing people for winning on picks? So let me get this straight, guys. What you want is you want a pro player in a pro game to come out with a surprising new pick, win one game with it, and then have it be banned and the other team not have to adapt. What is the point of even innovating at that point in time, guys? You literally cannot have surprise picks or surprise compositions because they work one time. They work one time. Do you hate watching players get their best champions? Like, it's actually psychotic that people would want that at the professional level. You think there would be innovation? You think there's no innovation now? Imagine how little innovation there would be if you could not come up with a surprise pick.
Has the wave in his favor though, and you can see they're trying to make this a further up play on Flakked and Kaiser.
Yeah, Niski has pushed mid, so Perks would either have to drop the wave to come, or they're just going to have to leave Kaiser and Flakked to their own.
It's like, you're good at this composition. Well, the enemy doesn't have to figure it out. You just don't get to play it anymore.
As quickly as he can, but he won't be here.
No adaptation. Just a fiesta. So shit. That's unlucky. Exekick burns flash for that too. What actually gets the kill there? Oh, that's Q2. The second part of Q.
Ren slows them down, but Jankos doesn't have any power. Niski's coming in off the win. SK have numbers advantage for now, but Perks is here with his gigantic range and spiraling despair. So they have to be careful. SK overstay that, Draven's going to lose it all.
Heretics can't go forward though. Niski has ultimate, so immediately they would be overextended off the back of that play. So 2 plates and a kill response now into that bottom side.
So true.
SK are starting to get those advantages. Like you can see at the bottom of your screen, a lot of those numbers turned red over the last few passages of play. And even though Isma did get shut down a little bit early, SK are fighting back well here.
He's not stopping, is he? He's just in the enemy jungle again. Smite, no. Jankos going to pick this one up. Isma just walks away. Even though he's being cheeky, Jankos now takes a small portion of the CS lead. But Isma's still a threat. He's slowed down that level 6 on buy. I think that's another big thing, another big engage tool that gives Jankos more of an edge as well. He's delayed that. Now to 8 minutes, Jankos half the way to level 6 as he starts taking his blue, while Niski starts moving into Fog 4 as well.
Isma is definitely behind on levels though. Level 4 coming up to the nearly 8-minute mark. This is where you traditionally see junglers be hitting level 6. So Isma definitely wants to try and get his own camps and make sure he's okay. Because at this stage, Jankos is just going to start to be in the case of, hey, look, he's about to go a level ahead of him already, but pushing up towards level 6 is going to make it nigh impossible for Isma to try and do anything. So I think they're going to try and go for Dragon here, but it is going to be a slow process, so I think Isma off the back of this will have to take a step back off the map and try and get towards his own level 6.
It's a disaster now because they're getting first Drake.
So, not really sticking around. I assume that will be his trade just here as the Dragon starts.
At least this time with the Void Grubs, you have the Gnar.
Can't believe Poppy's behind on camps.
Been prevalent before, but more importantly,
Isma griefed that invade, dude. It was so good.
an edge for Wonder would be nice considering how this game started out. He does have a CS lead in the top
It was such a good set play.
To quickly mention, CS lead for Niski and
Then I got griefed because he had to use heroic charge on red buff.
care too much if you're irrelevant, especially when that Draven right now, that's a 207 stack in, cash in, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of gold sitting on the bench. All X-Kick needs to do is cash it in, and I feel like this game is going to swing even further to Team Heretics. Excuse me, to SK.
They just need to make sure they can actually get anything, because the code is even at the moment, and the Goon Squad is here. They want to try and move in onto this bottom side and punish Isma for a little of his transgressions earlier on, but not really in a position to do so. Again, you are still a little bit nervous with Serrated Dirk and double longsword there for Exekick. Could be in a bit of problems, so they're just going to back it on up. And again, there you go, Isma is starting now to hit his level 6, catch up on Jankos. As he's able to get his camps now, he can start to be a little bit more proactive on the map once again.
And the fact that he has the ult 2, the ability to knock away some core damage pieces, some engage tools, it feels like, again, that Poppy is going to come into massive amounts of value. I just love, again, as you said, when your back's against the wall, Isma...
The Poppy's still so huge here, guys. The Poppy is like game-breaking, actually.
In the LPL, in FPX,
Why would you ban Cassante and Alistar when you just leave them Poppy?
Level 4. Same deal. Got in the enemy jungle and literally went 16 kills in his first game or something because
Doing
of it.
the ice coke, you know?
Yeah.
One of the old
What a
LPL
legend.
junglers who would just like flash
People be
everyone
like, who is
existence
Ice
level
Coke?
2, 3. Some of our old casting days, but Isma's still in a great spot. Levels, it just, you kind of feel the need for Heretics to do something, and doing something maybe Wonder leaving this tower, because there is a
Isma, stop doing this. I swear to God, the next time you E a fucking camp,
It's just nice that he's
do not E the camps. I do not care if you think you're in danger or not. You do not, it doesn't do that much damage. You do not have to E the camps.
irrelevant in the meantime.
And even if you are not going to die, let's pretend they make a mistake. Like, let's pretend they walk up on you. Now you don't have CC to kill them. So even if you won't die, it's still infinity times better to have E there. You are still going to do the camps quickly. You have 4 points in Q, and you have a Bomby Cinder. Okay?
Off the next wave, they'd get greedy. Wonder's definitely
You're also not going to take damage from fucking jungle camps at this point in the time.
Relevant's getting a push in bot.
It's so tilting, honestly. It's so tilting.
For SK, so Dagger's not even a trade-off here. X-Kick able to push in. Irrelevant gonna get a turret plate. Mid gets shoved in, then they move up to Void Grubs. SK are getting...
It's not even if you know they won't contest you. It's yeah. Okay, if you know 100% they're not coming, then you can use E. Yes. And at the beginning of the game, you can use E. You need E at the beginning of the game not to take too much damage. You do not need it at 11 minutes.
TP in for this one with Irrelevant, though, if they want to make this a special.
That's a Malphite angle if I've ever seen one. Yankos, Kaiser, Flacket, who is it? On the perks. Irrelevant's like, guys,
Oh my God. He caught Yankos after the Q on the other side of the wall.
that's a two-man, but
Now he has to flash.
SK, it looked good. It threatens them off, but for SK, the follow-through...
Peanut would E the camp. That doesn't matter. Peanut makes mistakes too. Yeah, Peanut would not. Peanut would have crushed them with that invade, dude. Peanut would have just driven the dagger straight into their heart.
Yeah. Hey, look, we're just gonna go take these Void Grubs, make sure we're all good. Even just getting one would have been fine, but instead now you've got Irrelevant who's on the top.
Yeah, I can't capitalize on the Malphite ult. That feels super bad.
Are still getting a lot of this pressure on the bottom side with this wave push. Flacket should be able to get a play for himself as well. So even though SK don't technically get any kills, Heretics should still be able to get a good amount of...
Peanut keeps the Vi at level 2 until 5 minutes, probably.
Even up against SK.
And look, what you're talking about,
Because he wouldn't use E on the red buff. Or, I mean, the other thing is like, or Draven gets first blood. You know, it's either Vi is level 2 or Draven gets first blood. That should have been the trade,
I like the word you use.
right? That should have been the trade. But Yzma trolled. So, here we are.
Setup is always good. As Dagda, a minute till the dragon. Team Heretics are moving down to the bottom side, but at least SK doing their due diligence, getting some deep vision themselves, with Isma Dos going into enemy jungle and trying to track the follow-up from Team Heretics. Well, look at him again. Just give him a whole breaker at this point. Irrelevant's just whacking turrets for free.
I mean, Niski's doing the same here, though. Won't quite be able to get the terror down on that bot side, but will get a turret play for himself as well. Reset coming through from Exakick with 30 seconds on towards Dragon. Immediately move in mid, shove out that wave, and start to lean in over towards that Dragon objective. So, SK, looks like they're stepping up here, especially with Young's completed for Exakick. This is the time when you want to try and fight for this objective. Like, you don't even have your first item complete onto perks or flacket, so this would be a big win for SK if they can find this fight.
Just put them into such a good state, and getting the Mountain Dragon as well, those bonus stats were irrelevant. I know I talk about dragons all the time, but it just feels like this is so relevant. Pun intended, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Not holding back today. Team Heretics for their pick, or will it be DOS to set it up? Look at the movement from X-Kick from Isma. Dredgeline connects. They found the support. What was DOS doing here? He felt so confident, but instead giving a kill over to Flacket in front of the Dragon. Big mistake from X-Kick. So relevant. Pun intended, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Not holding back today. Team Heretics for their pick.
I mean, they have no prio. DOS can't stand there. Draven's under turret.
From X-Kick from Isma. Dredgeline connects. They found the support. What was DOS doing here? He felt so confident. Team Heretics for their pick, or will it
Maybe he thought Poppy would ult for him.
From X-Kick from Isma. Dredgeline connects. They found the support. What was DOS doing here? He felt so confident, but instead giving a kill over to Flacket in front of the
I feel like
DOS to set it up. Look at
I feel like Poppy could have ulted.
from Isma. Dredgeline connects. They found the support. What was DOS doing here? He felt so confident, but instead giving a kill over Flacket in front of the Dragon.
I wonder why Poppy didn't ult.
By the support on the elimination game.
I think he lives if Poppy ults Flacket away.
Could have flashed out, but instead tried to just go for the speed up and was like, cool, this would be enough. Hoping to keep his crash down for the fight, but it meant that Heretics able to punish. And just that little overextension for DOS now shuts down a lot of the power play that SK could have gone for.
Unstoppable force to the top side. Wonder, not again, not again. Irrelevant running.
Irrelevant has no mana.
To build the distance. Dragon going down the meantime. It is a smite to secure, but DOS is now back alive. Magnet Storm comes through. Exakick flies in, but it's an however, no one from Team Heretics are there.
Oh, they got the cash in.
Time for Exakick opening up the enemy jungler.
May even get to open up a little bit more as well. Niski moving down towards this bot side should be able to push it out. SK trying to establish vision on the bot side so he can get that turret for himself.
Finally, I mean, this should have happened a lot sooner. It is egregious, guys, that it took until 14 minutes with Poppy, Draven, Rel into Kalista to get a kill on the bot lane. Like, this Kalista should have been absolutely bodied on the bot side, in my opinion.
Niski, give him some more gold. First turret blood given over. Jumps in, sets it up. Strange names. 2-item Draven versus 1-item Kalista, who also has 2 kills, by the way. It's an insane path that X-Kick now walks on this R1 Draven.
And the fact now that you get to just play off of X-Kick strength is going to make it very difficult for Heretics.
Yep.
You can kind of see in that fight that Perks hasn't really hit the point where he's doing a ton of damage. So a Yanko's Perks combo threat onto X-Kick isn't doing a huge amount. They need Wonder to help them with access here. But as long as X-Kick has his flash up, I think he'll be relatively fine. And if SK are able to threat onto X-Kick isn't doing a huge amount, they need Wonder to help them with access here. But as long as X-Kick has his flash up, I think he'll be relatively fine. And if SK are able to keep the pressure on the map, so they're the
He's
ones that
eating
are
the scuttle crab, guys.
first, they're the ones that are keeping control over entrances to
So
where,
dangerous.
then it makes it even harder for Heretics to buy access to X.
It's almost like the coaches told Isma what to do at level 2, and Isma doesn't actually know how to play Poppy.
You know, a lot of the time you're going to see.
You know what I mean? As soon as it went off script, he started fucking up. And I really think he could have ulted to save DOS.
But I'm bringing this up because in 14-2 they got buffed. They got buffed to 0.6 ability haste each.
How did the draft go for it to go like this? Well, they fucked up not banning Poppy. I think that was their biggest fuck up.
Poppy with huge potential, with a Malphite as well. Feels like SK having an Infernal Soul this game is another.
Poppy is just so giga easy to play into this comp that Heretics has.
Holding Team Heretics back and has been stomping their stamp of approval all game long. Yankos coming up. Does Irrelevant care? Nice sidestep. Just looks at Yankos. He doesn't care. This Malphite is almost to 1 item and getting to the point of unkillable, or at least feels like he is.
And with Heretics committing towards that top side, SK get pushing mid here, so should be able to get control here. Nothing invested on either side though, so looks like maybe SK aren't as committed to being like, hey, we can actually go for this on mid. You don't have pushing bot side for Niski, so it looks like
He's had 5 Poppy games ever in his entire career, Yzma.
But Heretics, they're trying to find these moments where
I'm
they
looking
go
it
for
up right
picks. I
now.
don't think they should be doing it for Irrelevant though, because Irrelevant is just way too tanky.
4 of them were last year. He's 3-1 on the champion last year, but this is only his 5th game.
Perks on the side, Niski on the sideline, because when you have Yankos who can just avoid a lot of the escape tools that Niski has, I think that's where you can start to look for plays with Kaiser as well to follow up.
That Nautilus has got to be a pivotal tool to those picks. Team Heretics need something. It's 1 minute 30 till Dragon. They're trying to find a bit of priority up in this top side. Remember as well, if there's a slip up
Yeah, I'm just really not a fan because, like, when you have, 1 or 2 points in E, it does like 200 or 300 damage if you hit the wall bang.
depending on what happens here.
And it just doesn't make a big difference in your clear speed. But the downside is just so huge. Okay, he misses ult. Why did he use W?
Depending on what happens here, it looks like top could be the play as Isma is the one showing. But Niski might find this himself as he pops out the ulti.
Why does he use W?
Doesn't connect. Kaiser goes over it. Depth charge onto Niski.
Maybe, I guess he thought that Vi had Q, but Vi's Q is on cooldown. Oh, it doesn't matter. Oh, God.
Oh, do the Mr. Krabs up. Extra kick is cashing in again. He loves his money. But Irrelevant lands a 3-man. In the meantime, they
Gets a nice stun, though, on a Yankos.
Maybe an opportunity for Team Heretics is golden to buy time. It's teleports coming.
Yankos ults into the wall. Next to the wall, which makes the Poppy E so easy.
We've got a spiraling despair onto Isma. It kills Niski in the meantime, but Irrelevant lands a 3-man. In the meantime, they connect. Kaiser goes over it. Depth charge onto Niski.
I mean, they get the depth charge down, but he literally just doesn't take any damage because there's no follow-up damage, and he has arm guard. So he's able just to flash out, while Irrelevant gets a great ult onto them. And you may think this ult is weird because you can't push back Vi while she's unstoppable, but it prevents any follow-up. So Wonder decides he has to flash over, but he's not Mega Gnar this whole fight, and he literally dies right before he can hit Mega. It's actually a good ult. Niski plays that really well, I think.
Just made for extra kick.
Yeah, the value of that arm guard and the value of going Zhonya's second is actually huge here because of Vi. And Nautilus ult, I guess, do targeted ults.
With that 3-man ultimate, that was beautiful from SK.
It's now a 6K gold lead just about.
What's going on with Draven's build? He literally buys a Sundered Sky after this fight. That's funny. Sundered Sky, third item. Interesting. I guess it like helps him survive the pick potential. You get the HP and then you can actually get some lifesteal. Peter Dunn reaction.
Well, it's a double cashing, and you can see why good for SK. That could have been the fight. Heretics knocks out Jin. It's looking good for SK. That could have been the fight. That knocks out.
That's a good reaction clip. Fuck.
Heretics do not look happy, and you can see why. I mean, this is a roster with high expectations. It might only be
Hans Ahmed going that build and stomping in solo queue. Yeah, it looks interesting.
Perks back on a roster together, and you're saying, man, this should be a top 3 team. Right now, they're going to be top of anything as they on death's door getting eliminated onto Irrelevant. Trenchline there. He holds out just for good measure. As Team Heretics keep trying to find
the players that are on this roster, but now desperation sinking in. Baron is spawned 20 minutes on the clock.
Poppy ult?
They spot them. Heretics
TY for leash, Poppy ult?
They haven't yet. No ult on Irrelevant. They feel like they can do it.
ult on Isma to send them
TY for leash, Poppy ult?
Desperation's the right word.
Charge it up, Yzma. Let's go.
Bottom left.
You waiting for no Mega Gnar?
Death flies out. Team Heretics looking
Okay, there we go.
but
Oh, we just don't feel like using it?
So desperate, you can see the stench right
Why not just use Poppy ult and then kill them?
split pushing in our bottom left. The whirling death
I guess just because you're
for a turn, but
splitting in bot?
again, they've
Yeah,
been
alright,
so
fair enough.
desperate, you can see the stench coming off them as they run for the hill.
No rush, no rush.
Niski stays strong bot, and SK continues
Nicely
running the
done.
map and making sure team-
He's on holidays. He's having a great old time. Getting some goal for himself.
Ulti
Been
out,
locked up.
all buffered though. Yankos comes in, the smite.
Shoes as well. Upgrade them. He's going to be so chill. But for Heretics, they want to see if they can try and
The
change that.
greediest recall.
He's been
Ulti
locked
out,
up.
all buffered though. Yankos comes in, the smite helps him out a little bit. Flacken and Wonder on the way, the slide and glide. Niski's being targeted, the sun turret goes up. He's doing good damage, trying to outplay 1v2. Flacken taking up. The turret's going to do a lot of damage as he goes.
The Zonias.
Gets the severing bolt, which is an execute. And there, the damage is done. Nothing up in the bottom side, unfortunately, Dagda, but at least some gold back.
But with the build that you have on X-Kick, even picking up the Sundered Sky is not going to be able to do a huge amount towards Baron. So you try and find maybe a little bit more pick.
But is over the wall. Perks is coming in. Irrelevant's being super patient. He's got a two-man now, but feared out before he can pull that in the bottom side. Heretics to keep this series, to keep their chances alive. He is on the way now, having respawned. They do Baron quick enough with a 3-item Draven, by the way. Now going into Fog of War. Team Heretics to keep this series, to keep their chances alive.
Yeah, Niski's going to absolutely rinse this on the Azir, and that's the one that they're really looking for, but keep your eyes on Irrelevant. He's not with the team. They're trying to
engage. He's a little bit early, running through. The Rel comes in from the back end.
Oh my lord. They still have Malphite. Oh, they're dead. That's it. That's the end of the game.
Smooth, you master of the top lane. He's already picked up a double. He's taken.
Perks is here, trying to get the damage from afar. Doss is low, maybe even try and snipe him out, but I just don't think there's very much that you can do in this situation. Flacket will try and trade it for mid-tower, may get it with just not even one
Replay and look at Perks.
Raven, by the way.
team.
Now going into Fog of War. Team Heretics to keep this series, to keep their chances alive.
Yeah, Niski's going to absolutely rinse this on the Azir, and that's the one that they're really looking for, but
He's in the back line. He is running around in circles.
It's a beautiful ulti, but flying through the whirling death is even.
He flashes next to Flackid, so they both get ulted.
Flies on in.
All right.
Keep it smooth, you master of the
He didn't want to be left out,
He's already
guys.
picked up a double. He's taken no
He wants to
damage.
show solidarity and suffering with his teammates.
They just keep smacking these pros in the face.
and they're not going to stop. They're going to take the Baron as well. Perks is here, trying to get the damage from afar. Doss is low, maybe even try and snipe him out, but I just don't think there's very much that you can do in this situation.
Dom said this game will end with Perks flashing into Malfold at 3 minutes into the game. That's funny.
Very, very happy with this one. Goes Baron buff now.
The same as we watch this engage again with Doss's counter being so good.
But look where Flacket and Perks are. They have done nothing this entire time. The positioning from Irrelevant coming from mid lane, Doss hiding in the bush and getting really good opportunities to zone them away. They're able to separate the front and back line, and there's just nothing you can do.
As a fellow Australian, I know the words that came out of his mouth.
Opportunities to zone them away.
What does he say?
They're able to separate the front and back line, and there's just nothing you can do.
It's fucking what? I don't know what he said. It's fucking something.
The words that came out of his mouth, and I know they're not safe for air.
Backline, and there's just nothing you can do.
Yeah, he says trash. He says fucking trash, I think.
Doss hiding in the bush and getting really good opportunities to zone them away. They're able to separate the front and back line, and there's just nothing you can do.
It looks like he says fucking trash. Or you fucking twats. Ah, that's what he says. Yeah, he says you fucking twats. That's what he says.
I love the reactions we're getting from the coaches.
You fucking twats.
Heartbreak for Peter.
I don't know. I don't know why he's mad. Like, it was a pretty good engage from his team.
Relieved is definitely on his face.
Absolutely.
SK setting up now, pushing mid. You've got tier 2 in top going down as well. Wonder just trying to trade for position on this bot lane. I think they kind of know the base is going to be cracked here and just trying to see what they can do in response.
And they find some kind of comeback. I mean, it's 10k gold deficit. For Team Heretic, they held on long enough in game number 2, but this time SK...
What is the point of sacking so many people from the LEC, considering it's one of their better products? don't want to share digital revenue with the teams, so they're cutting costs so that they can increase other revenue with the teams.
They want to try and go for the dragon. Heretics trying their best to stop them, so maybe they could try and rush.
So they're just going to nuke the product in the long term, which obviously isn't going to be good.
Ulti's out this time against Wonder. It's good damage from X-Kick to follow up.
But if they save money, then they can pass that money on to the teams who are asking for it without actually giving them a cut of any digital revenue.
Through X-Kick, as long as he catches blades, he can keep pressing W. Every time he catches a blade, W's out. W doesn't matter because Dragon's up, as you said, and SK had their name written all over it.
They're going to move over, make sure that they're able to pick this one up. And it was a nice
Dude, it feels so bad. Yankos is at 1 item at 25 minutes.
from Heretics. Maybe if they get into separate some of the backstage.
Feels
Slow
bad,
the
man.
game down like we saw in the last one, but not quite able to do so. I mean, 1,300 gold on the Red Bull Barn power play. You're going to be very happy with this as SK. And with nothing really left on the map for Heretics, like, where do you try and fight back? You've a 2-item Callista, a 2-item Way, and you're looking at 3 pushing 4 items coming in on SK's side.
Defining game that Fnatic probably now watching going, well, how do we prep against this? Waiting to see who they verse coming up next Monday.
I mean, I wouldn't be too worried about SK if I was Fnatic. They made a lot of mistakes this game.
I know, again, the game hasn't ended yet, but it feels like
The Heretics is just bad.
SK, with how they've been playing this out, with the different drafts we've gotten as well, and the engage tools that have just come out of nowhere.
And I think a game like this is going to give them a lot of confidence. I think that's kind of what we've missed from SK from the first few weeks versus what we got at the end of this split so far. This is going to be a game where they're, I mean, Isma going for these flash plays in the early stages. Now starting to move in here. This is what we expected from SK coming in towards playoffs. The aggression paying off, being able to set up X-Kick for success. And now they're just a few steps away from being able to close out this game.
It's Perks who's doing the damage. A big shutdown, but the range finally comes through. X-Kick gets a kill. Niski comes over the wall. Perks is out, but why did Niski do that? Look at the spiraling death.
But it's not an easy one.
It's not.
As Heretics push
Is this a
forward.
classic Niski get a lead and then end?
Can't be part of the fight, but he has to stand aside as
They're just a few steps
DOS
away
actually
from being able to
engages
close this
and
game.
then
It's
gets
not an
hit by
easy one.
Gnarl.
not.
As Heretics pushing forward.
Niski took a lot of damage. There's the engagement.
Everybody just inting in solidarity. Yep, he just walks into Gnarl for funsies.
Stand aside as X-Kick runs on back in. Look at the spiraling death. It's Perks who's doing the damage. A big shutdown, but the range finally comes through. X-Kick gets a kill. Niski comes over the wall. Perks is out, but why did Niski do that? He had flash available too.
What
and
the fuck,
ulti.
man?
SK are botching it up, Dagda.
Doesn't actually matter because there aren't any objectives, but still.
Niski thought he could get the kill and flash back out, but Kaiser says no. His former teammate saying, stay right here with me, mate. You're not going to be able to get out of this one. And now, Heretics get a bit of time to slow the pace of the game down, find some gold on themselves. And as you say, Perk's doing a lot of damage in that fight.
He's almost at 3 items too. I mean, when that void stuff comes through, the spiraling despair, as you saw, when everyone's standing so close together.
Skylar RL, thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate it.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to catch Niski with that.
Niski at 1/4 HP. Yeah, this is get caught.
Pickings there immediately on towards the Malphite. He's gone.
Malphite ults Hwei instead of ulting out. By the way, Malphite could have ulted out, guys. I just want you to know he could have gotten out of that. And they could have just walked away.
ton of armor to try and keep himself safe.
Okay? Trade for 1-for-1. All right. All right. What are we doing?
So,
Move all your sand soldiers, get 0 attacks on Perks, and then get CC'd to death by Via Nautilus.
Perks gets up the back and flash back over the wall.
Oh no, no.
There's 5 people. That's what he said, I think.
I mean, someone's getting a shellacking after that.
I don't know how many hot springs or stuff hit after the game tonight.
I love this guy. Swiffer's too funny, man.
The coaching staff really deserve it at this point. It's been back and forth, and SK is still in the lead.
Dude,
Still
being
one
being a
down.
coach in League of Legends is an actual fucking nightmare. Imagine just sitting there being powerless while your players do this. It's so annoying. And then you're the one who gets fired for some reason.
And Dagda's about to ground me and say maybe it's a little bit
But no,
different.
let's take stock of where we're at. Because 30 seconds until Baron, SK are just trying to keep their push in. You've got super minions on the top side, which will hit just as that Baron spawns. So SK, I imagine, are going to try and rush it down. But as you say, like 3 items now with the complete on towards Perks. He's gonna
You get fired because you can't mind control your players to do something intelligent. And they just start happy gaming.
Still have to wait for Flacket.
Relevant has flash ulti. Flash unstoppable force. Look at the angle. Ward expires mid. Wonder's the only one stepping up.
And also, if you yell at your players, then they like report you for being mean.
Find out they're separated, which they do now.
And then everybody on Twitter hates you because you were mean.
It's so dark, though.
Like, my coach is abusing me with his words. Maybe you deserve it. Stop being a fucking twat. You know what I mean? All right. Finally. Ugh. Well, these are the bangers, the only bangers we have, guys. Sometimes you have to make do with the bangers that you have instead of the bangers that you dream of.
SK will advance further into playoffs.
Rough week for the bangers.
There's going to be some stern words from Swiffer.
Dude, I'd be so mad if I was Swiffer.
Overextensions at times, but still, SK, they pick up the win.
He should exa kick all of them in the
At
ass.
least for the moment, their dreams alive of pushing forward and picking up a win.
Alrighty, on to the next one. The next one. I'm going to take a bathroom break, guys. Clean up my plate. Then we'll get into MDK versus Giant X. All right, we are back. Thanks for your patience, guys. Let's get into it.
Away by Giant X.
I'm curious as to how Mad Lions rate.
I'm not sure we're going to get around to LCS today, guys. We started a bit late.
I mean, it's better now they've added Koi on the end.
You're so annoying. We've been 5 seconds. It took you 5 seconds. Giant X are actually going to ban Ori the brand that I was just talking about. The Kalista are going to be taken alongside. So some of these big picks that were very important in the Mad Lions Fnatic series yesterday are going to be removed. We're going to be moving down.
So it's a BO5 between G2 and BDS tomorrow. Okay.
Will be something that's prioritized. We saw Super and Alvaro during the regular season have some great performances on that duo in particular. Or perhaps the Aphelios is something that they want to stick to. We'll see what direction they go.
We might have to get to some of the... We might have some LCS days early next week, guys.
Yeah, I think so too.
Recollection.
Instead, actually, looks like it might be
We'll see.
just going through a couple of AD carries. Senna locked in for.
Will I go back to LCK as a caster? No.
G2 was taking advantage of the strength of the pick last week. They were
First off, I don't think that offer's on the table. Second off, I wouldn't take it even if it was.
Scaling and the range from that duo was absolutely crazy. With Maokai banned away, you imagine things like Norless also rise in priority.
Senna first pick, okay.
If you are Mad Lions, one though locked in for Giant X. I like what I saw.
Also,
like 2018,
yeah,
2017.
So we see the Karma come up. Karma was banned in that entirety of the last series. It's probably not Senna Karma, which is why you see the Ornn here potentially being flashed. It'll be the Cassante instead. I'm not sure we're gonna see any more of the Ornn Senna lanes now that we don't get the double support items any longer. But I could be wrong. Could happen at this game. I have no idea what the drafts are.
Be a very powerful mid-jungle duo if they want to try and find advantages early. Akali was something that we did.
Karma's the triple flex though. Misfortune. Oh my God, we haven't seen Misfortune in forever.
I'm still thinking about whale sharks. I'm gonna be honest.
Trying to bully the Senna in lane. There's the Nautilus and Gwen counterpick into Cassante. Alistair for full engage onto the Senna in the bot lane. So pretty aggressive in terms of kill potential. Honestly, not a lot of great synergy for Sejuani and ganks, though. You know? Honestly, not a lot of synergy in ganks. What if they paid me a real wage? There's no point because the career doesn't go anywhere, guys. You basically just become the soundtrack to co-streamers at this point in time, and there's no way to like advance, and you're perpetually on like year-to-year contracts. I'd much rather own my own company where I can make equivalent, if not more money, and that way I'm actually owning something. And why would I just go be Riot's bitch until the end of time? Dancing, you know, on treading on eggshells, right? The Sejuani feels weird here because there's just not synergy with actually getting stuns off of Sejuani E.
Of course, the support. A lot of support so far this split from Mad Lions.
Like maybe if you get the Alistair engage on the bot side. Norway's best. Thank you for your Twitch Prime sub. My grandfather was a Norwegian immigrant. My middle name is Shell. My last name is also Norwegian. So I appreciate you. You're not Norway's best, though. That's me.
Well, I've told the jury you wouldn't use any of your 3 best.
How do you think Mark Z got his position as commissioner? Well, I mean, he's not really a commissioner, number one. He's not even his job title internally is like product lead. He's not a commissioner. He doesn't have that level of authority.
Because if it's poisoned, you throw in your.
He's a figurehead, guys.
Koi gang wars happening here. The Koi and the Carp are fighting. It's like a West Side Story all over again.
He doesn't have the powers that a commissioner would have in a sports league, or the powers that I had as commissioner when I was working with Flashpoint, where I was the authority of the league.
Well, both going to start towards the top side of the map and path towards bot. Now, of course, you do have a few options. You can, of course, skip your top side camp. Some people will do that red into like bot side and then path back up towards. Some will start on.
He's got like 10 people above him in the chain of command. He can't even make decisions about LCS.
We'll look at how this early priority could also influence potential invades. You see some deep vision already invested. from the side of Mad Lions Koi onto their blue buff, so they're going to recognize when Peach is in the area. But
I think he's done a good job with the power that he has in terms of making the product better. Don't get me wrong, but he can't fix LCS.
Push that they have in mid as well. Karma has a huge amount of wave clear in the early game and can really push her opponents around. So let's see what Elyoya decides to do. Is the level 2 going to come through very, very soon from Mad Lions Koi's bot lane. The level 3 also going to be secured for Elyoya.
And Peach about half a camp behind in terms of jungle clear. Importantly, Ignar has gone Glacial Augment on the...
Yeah, what's going on this bot side?
I like playing Brand in Platinum.
Well,
I mean, Alistar sucks at level 1. That's part of the problem. So you just get zoned off the wave at level 1. Right? And you get 0 CS, and you get hooked. So you try and trade favorably, but you're playing Alistar, so after he presses Q, you can't do anything else. There's sustain in Mad's bot lane. So you get zoned off the whole wave, get 0 CS. Feels bad. So you're basically hoping that somewhere between level 3 and 6 that you're going to have an effective gank.
And Peach about half a camp behind in terms of jungle clear. Importantly, Ignar has gone Glacial Augment on the Alistar, means he won't be that tanky early game. You really have to wait until you get your Unbreakable Will before you are that big tanky cow. The Glacial Augment helps you in slowing your opponents, reducing damage, but not like an Aftershock where you can go in and just tank for days. So if a fight does erupt around that blue buff, as it might with Elyoya,
Third wave crash.
And Super first to move, big minion wave.
He's literally 0 CS.
Stacked up here as well. Patrick and Ignar need to deal with that. Patrick still in.
Ignar's a very good Alistar player. It's probably his best champ in his history of playing the game. Now we just have an invade because they have no pressure, and there's absolutely no way their bot lane can miss this wave, so Peach gets pushed out of the jungle. So free for Mad Lions playing around this early game Alistar super well.
And all of this comes off the back of that early ward that was dropped onto the blue buff, recognizing the Peach choosing not to start on this side of the map gives Elyoya a clear advantage in the jungle where he can now secure 2 camps. And Gianx can't afford to do anything about it. That would be a lot of farm loss for both Patrick and Ignar, and it's debatable if they would even win out on the straight up 3 versus 3. So they choose not to go for it. And now this wave is in a bit of an awkward spot because they know that Elyoya is hovering around the bot side of the map. Their jungler is nowhere near them right now. And if they overstep, there's a real opportunity for Mad Lions to lead, especially with the level advantage that they have over Patrick right now.
So Peach is coming down towards this bottom side of the map, but he'll spot that the Scuttle Crab's been taken. Elyoya is going across towards his red and his Krugs. Peach hasn't...
You hate Sejuani if you don't have a synergy. Why not take Rel? Yeah, I agree. The draft turned out really weird for Sejuani.
Doesn't spot the red, so Elyoya should be able to take it before Peach gets there. Now Peach has to
close though.
The chase on with Vault Breaker. Elyoya decides against it, doesn't need to go any further.
You don't have Prio there on the bot side, a little bit dangerous.
But that presence does alleviate pressure from the bot side of the map. This means that Patrick and Ignar can actually get this push in underneath the tower. And they don't
MF still 2 waves down, especially after this wave hits. That was a pretty huge CS denial on the bot side.
Being gained for this Mad Lions bot lane. They're going to tick over to level 4 very, very soon. Got the wave in such a nice spot, so now even without the presence of Elyoya,
this is going so well for the Mad Lions bot lane.
And comfortable while their jungler will clear the top side of the map. And now you start to shift this focus up towards the top side because now you're all like, oh, okay, Merwin, Nodoame, how concerned are they about any potential ganks, knowing that the
hook the minion.
To be on that side of the map.
Patrick and Ignar hit.
Nice route. Ward and brush. Yeah, this counter pick is not working. Elyoya is also just too good. I mean, the way Elyoya calls the early game has been very good for Mad Lions, and you can see it here. They're just playing around him, and they're using their strengths in the laning phase to, get pretty good cascading advantages on the map. He used Ghost. Okay, he's dead.
Pop the Ghost. No flash on him. Elyoya, Vault Breaker, Pathmaker out, pulls him under.
Oh, he's not dead. Nicely done.
Wave's gonna get shoved in. Odo will have to TP back in here.
Good use of the Unbreakable.
Peach is on the bot side.
Or Unstoppable, rather.
Elyoya to go towards the grub. So my expectation is that Peach should cross-map this for the dragon. Ideally, you want to trade these objectives.
What does the Alistar do well for them in the later besides a different pick?
risk for Peach. If he goes
Well,
for
it provides extremely reliable engage or follow-up engage to Sejuani.
So Super and
Backline access also allows you to get rid of the Gwen.
playing Peach,
It's pretty nice.
soloing at Drake. You can see Alvaro realizes that's still a possibility, walks across, pings over on the dragon, and now can step into that river to make sure that Peach is not trying to take it away.
The Gwen is incredibly scary, though. With the speed up from Karma. Like, that is really terrifying. And the heals coming in from Senna. Woo, that Gwen. Also, you get the counter matchup in lane. Feels super good.
Do you think it's fitting that a player called Peach plays for a team called Giant? We just need a player called James as well. And then it'll be... You have James and the Giant, ex-Peach.
How does your brain work?
This is jet lag brain, man, right now.
That actually is a good joke. That's a good joke for Medic.
I was like, he's got the wrong story in his head. He's going to make a fool of himself. And then you brought it all together.
James the Giant X Peach. That's actually super funny.
Well, the dragon is up.
Yeah, Merwin is a Gwen abuser. Yeah, he definitely has been a Gwenner.
And with this wave slowly pushing back in the favor of Mad Lions Koi, they should be able to set up for it. Given that Frescowi should maintain control over this mid wave, it has invested the TP now. The first bases have been completed.
Alistair is the worst engaged support in the Senate because of her E. Doesn't matter once you have ult, though.
Just going to clear out the vision. Peach forced away from this topside scuttle crab, and across the board, this is a good start.
You're not going to get rooted. Even if you get rooted as you're coming in with W, it doesn't actually proc until you're able to press, you know, hit R. So, and you also will get your engage off. You know, if you're in range to hit WQ, the root isn't going to stop you. Why aren't more people picking Karma into his ear? Because it's banned. It's banned, 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 banned.
I mean, everyone's experienced that late game multi-man.
Oh, the stealth. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
We don't want to underestimate the value of that damage, but it's all about whether
I misunderstood. My bad.
plant your feet. You've got to make sure that the spacing is good, and your CC's got to connect. And there is definitely some great setup. Patrick in a bit of danger there for Alvaro. Oh,
He's going forward. We'll look for the stun here onto Alvaro. You can see Peach on his way as well. Alvaro flashes the Glacial Prison. Super caught up in the slow, but able to escape. Ignite is low here. Does still have the flash, but Super flashes forward. Counter flash from Ignite. Elioya now on his way to join the fray. Patrick has a flash of his own if he needs to invest it, and will do so wisely. So Elioya steps into this. What's that? Counter flash here onto Alvaro. You can see Peach on his way as well. Alvaro flashes the Glacial Prison. Super caught up in the slow, but able to escape. Ignite is low here. Does still have the flash, but Super flashes forward. Counter flash from Ignite. Elioya now on his way to join the fray. Patrick
Not worth for Super to flash there.
if he needs to invest it, and will do so wisely. So Elioya steps into this.
We'll see, actually.
Frescowi's moved his way across. Peach using the Grump as a bit of a body block.
Nice job by Peach to block that.
Patrick, no flash on him. Remember, as Frescowi's going to get stunned.
Nice knockup from Ignar. Oh my god, the Senna ult. So clutch. Force a flash from Peach too. Nice. Good follow-up from Frescovi and Elioya.
Mad Lions Koi punishing the all-in from Ignat and responding well to the potential gank from Peach. Super. The only reason why he had to burn his flash was because he saw a kill opportunity onto Ignat.
Super shouldn't have flashed there.
And, I mean,
It's whatever though. Super does, I think, play a little overly aggressive at times.
the root coming out from the Senate, that is what Patrick was forced to flash away from. And that's what he was so concerned about. And so to this point, you'll see he feels like, oh, I don't need to flash, but there, that root, that's what he has to flash away. He realizes if it connects, he's going to lose his life. And then just really great positioning from the mid-jungler here from Mad Lions, already on the move towards the bot side of the map. That continued push that Frescowi have, making it so much easier for him to rotate down. And just a great demonstration of how Mad Lions Koi are using their priority very, very well. First Dragon should go in favor of Mad Lions.
Yeah, Elioya's calling really does help Mad Lions have good team play. I think that by having so many new players that they're able to set a dynamic in the team where Elioya just has absolute authority to control all the rookies, which means they follow his calls, and he's a very good early game planner, and so it's really working for them. They have a unity of purpose, you know what I mean? Which is nice to see.
It reminds me of it's Timon and Pumbaa, right? The grub that they have.
Yes.
And it's crazy how delicious those insects looked in that movie.
Insects are eaten in a lot of the world. Very good source of protein, Betty.
That's good. That's
Shouldn't
what my
look
mother
down your
always
nose
said.
at insects unless they're on the floor, in which case you do have to look down your nose to see them.
Thank you, man.
They're the grubs.
educational.
Gonna get taken.
Yeah, so they're foregoing the dragon. Mad Lions Core's priority is on this top side of the map. The beauty of having so much push in the other game is you get
Man, now you're just gonna have 5 to 6 void grubs as well with a split pushing Gwen. This is feels nightmarish.
Now the dragon, can it finally be started by Peach? Nope, he's not gonna gamble it.
Again, it's about prio, right? Like, they don't know Elio's on the grubs, they can assume, but they don't have vision. But Frescowi can always get mid-prio. Super and Alva have pushed in the bot lane, so that has to be answered by Patrick and Ignar. And now you're starting up the Drake, but Elio...
Feels like Faker and T1 with 4 rookies, except Yo-Yo's a jungler. Yeah, that's actually a very good comparison. I think that's a very good comparison. Sometimes you just have to think about the social... And by sometimes I mean you always have to think about the social dynamics of teams and like what, you know... whoa. Somebody hit with a very loud donation. Hold on, I'll read it in a second.
Cease and desist on him once again, and the MF is just culled from the back of the fight. Now Frescowi's going to join the fray. Another hook connects onto Jackie.
All right, I'll read it in a second, guys. Hold up. I want to watch this fight first.
Guarantees equal numbers in while Elioya makes his way over.
Might be caught out. Who's going in? Jackie's tries to land.
Frescowi flashes Jackie's ults. Patrick taken down to exactly 0 HP. Doesn't even have a chance to ult himself. This bot side was not supposed to go this way. And this bot lane just hasn't been working. Mad Lions has played really, really well around the Alistar.
He flashes out of the way to avoid that collapse. Meanwhile, the rest of Mad Lions Koi is engaging onto Patrick. Eliminating one of the big damage sources right from the get-go makes this fight an easy one for Mad Lions Koi. So far, an incredibly clean game from Mad.
Yeah, they're playing really well.
The early game in terms of their priority, they've controlled the jungle, and they've been able to secure every single neutral objective.
All right, hold on. Let me read this donation. Sloths, thank you. I'd like to say I'm a huge fan of your work at LFN. I'm a linguistics major looking to study abroad in Korea. Do you have any recommendations for non-touristy places to visit? I'd like to experience non-curated Korean culture. Well, I mean, just go out into the boonies, man. Like, you know, go to Daegu or something. Some of the cities that people don't normally go to. I would go to, you know, if you're out here during a good time of year, that's not too hot or too cold, like Soraksan, which is on the East Coast, is a national park of like granite mountains. That's really beautiful. You can take a bus out there from Seoul and you'll have a pretty authentic Korean experience out there. Not a lot of foreign tourists. It'll be August. It might be hot, but you could still do it. You know, in Seoul, too, it's a massive city. Just go to some of the more, like, non-touristy neighborhoods.
We're going to look back at this engage, and it's Frescowi who looks...
You know, it's where I lived in Gyeongnidan, which is Noksapyeong Station. It is foreigner-friendly, but it's not particularly touristy compared to Itaewon. Right? A lot more local businesses, craft beers, but it is foreigner-friendly at the same time. Yeah, Soraksan's good, though. Might be a little hot, but you can still have a nice time outside.
Initially, but then as the rest of Giants tried to collapse, that is when Mad Lions Koi go for the punish, and it's just a single target.
There's also fun stuff you could do that, like, you know, if you're here in August, you might want to go to Caribbean Bay, which is a massive water park. Which is like a massive water park. Again, it's popular, but it's not necessarily some touristy. You know, locals go there. It's part of Everland. Just like a amusement park, thrill park. But Caribbean Bay is an absolutely huge water park that's very fun. Outside of Seoul.
In the jungle, the lion sleeps, but it doesn't seem to be right now.
What do you mean foreigner friendly? I mean, like, people speak Inglando.
I've been storing these up for like 2 weeks.
There's like menus that you can read. Although Google Translate is pretty amazing these days with your camera, so it's life in Korea is a lot less difficult than it used to be. I mean, for example, I live in fucking Songdo, which is a part of Incheon, and like if you don't speak some Korean here or read Korean, you would just be giga fucked. Thank you, Ondrox, for your tier 1 sub. Welcome back.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I love his accent.
Oh, So do I.
Yeah. Got a lot of energy. He also says funny things.
Also, go to the fish markets, man. That's actually a banger recommendation. Go to the Seoul Fish Market, because basically no tourists go there, and what you do is you walk around and you like pick your fish or your crabs, and then they're all in all these tanks, and then they butcher them for you on the spot, and then they take away the sashimi, which is called hue in Korean, so the raw fish, to a restaurant that's attached, to restaurants that are attached to the fish market, and they will serve you the hue, the raw fish, and you buy like alcohol from them, and if you get like a spider crab or whatever, they'll steam it for you, and at the end of the meal they prepare a spicy stew with all the like leftover fish parts that's delicious. So you can literally just pick whatever fish you want, and it's really fun to go in there and see the fish markets too, and there won't be tourists in there. So there you go.
Cerix has this way of just going down like 4 different permutations of an idea and giving you the end result, but not showing his working.
It's
to
true.
how he got there.
It's truly
So
a
it's an
masterclass.
Unfortunately for you, they upgraded the Seoul Fish Market. The Busan one's bigger, but they upgraded the old one. The old one was like this really janky concrete wet warehouse that was like hilariously scuffed. Now they have a brand new shiny one that I actually haven't been to yet, but you can still go. That's a fun one.
Gold lead for MDK, and Giant X have looked very lacking so far in terms of ability to do anything on the map.
How long have you been living in Korea? Well, I left for 6 years, and I'm back out for a year as of September. So I was in LA for 6 years. I was in Korea for 5, then LA for 6. Now I'm back for another year.
I mean, you highlighted it in the play, but just the use of the hooks to close the gap, to connect the ultimate, to then allow the center to land the root, to then have the damage come in from Karma, it was clean. I liked it a lot. Very well done.
And this is the problem for Giant X as well. As soon as they step up, Elioya's there. Someone's always there to force them away from the tower. The Grub's obviously helping out. Those little Void Mites going to help chip away at this turret, but there's no space for Giant X on the map. Every time they step into any area of darkness, they're met with 2 or 3 members of MDK. Next up, the Rift Herald, you have to assume, 2.5 minutes on the next Drake, and you can see Alvaro and Elioya just teaming up. They'll path through mid together. At the moment, Super has a lot of protection from that bottom side of the map. You can see the control ward and a couple of extra wards, keeping him safe if he pushes forward. Alvaro now pathing towards bot, deciding that Elioya can do the Rift Herald by himself, it seems.
I mean, they still have control at the top. There is a 0 gold difference. In, well,
it's 12 now.
Okay,
okay.
yes, there's 12.
26. Kanik Rukon has turned this.
It's been 7 years since my last stint in Korea. Dude, I left in April of 2017.
If I gave you
It's now February of 2024.
I took it away, you wouldn't say that was effectively neutral.
So yeah, it's been a while.
You gave me the 26
Okay,
and asked for it back.
I worded that poorly.
Haha!
You were technically correct.
Now, the cross map is happening from Giant X. They will steal away a red buff, which consequentially, Madline's not going to be too upset about. But at the very least, it's something back for Giant X. They are kind of scaling towards those team fights. They're hoping that they can get a nice 5 versus 5.
Monty OG and Days Ago. How can your Twitch ID be ape shit and it not be detected? Are you a wizard? How did you get that username? They just let you have shit in your username?
Like this center is stacking now. What is that? 49 that I see?
49
Apes hit. Oh, okay.
The opportunity and the Yumu's goes plate complete. The Rift Herald charges in. Elioya's taking his driving lessons. They'll wait for it to walk past the turret before they pick it up to make sure you can drive it into the second one.
Play.
Mike's helping out as well. The root's going to land here onto Peach. The Herald charges in and Peach is locked up. Ignar trying to dive into the backline. Not a lot of damage coming out from Patrick with that bullet time. Oda1 TP's in. Elioya trying to get away from the Cassante. Ghosting forward. Jackie's dashes in as well. Elioya should be able to trade with Cassante here. Can just Vault Breaker away, but the Q3 knocks him back. Alvaro's killing. Jackie's off towards the top side. All the meanwhile, Merwin is just taking towers. Oda1 led them all on a merry chase, but in the end, the rest of MDK are able to collapse. Ignite now ticking onto Elioya. Oda1 trying to trade back. Oh, they can't get her back. Elioya going back on.
I mean, they have no damage anymore. How would they kill anybody? Jesus. Okay. Well, I guess Giant X's plan was give Senna create some sort of Senna kill lane, get counterpicked top, and then have no synergy with Sejuani, and then do nothing while losing from level 1. Yeah, Mad Lions play this well, man. But it's weird that this was their response to Senna when they didn't do anything.
7K gold lead 17 minutes in.
And a Drake up for them in 2 seconds' time. They need to clear out a little bit of this vision, but they are so far ahead. Lockett taking those towers in the top lane. Gets a Haunting Guise and some Ionian boots. And you can see Giant X don't even really want to play around the Drake. They know that's where MDK are going to be, so they overload the top side to make sure that Jackies can get this push in. Objective Bounties, the name of the game. I'm more of an objective Snickers sort of man.
They're looking off.
Decent assist onto Patrick, and Merwin comes in from the side. Ignar now running for the hills. Odo's already down. And Cassante nowhere near as tanky as he would be later in the game. MDK have another minion wave pushing in. It's 10-0. It's a 6,000 gold lead, Betty.
Hours. Giant X. The amount of use to lock it. Giant X.
This has been such a roll, guys. Such a roll.
Jackie's in a good position. Control ward in the bush means he hasn't been seen as of yet.
There is that one ward around.
Not even close game.
Giant X out of their side of the jungle, and they're just clearing out the vision. If you want to step up, you're going to pay for it.
Onweme is taking damage, even though that magic damage shield still sitting pretty on him. He's down below half. Super. The Dawning Shadow coming out as Odoamne's forced away. Already Patrick down again. That's his 5th death.
Yeah, Chris-san is right.
That's going to be a Baron, I think.
If you have lighter skin, the Koreans are going to treat you a lot better. Like, you know, I've tried to get into clubs, you know, with black people, and that hasn't gone well. You know what I mean? There's still quite a bit of racism.
Rotten to the core, this game from Giant X as Peach is forced away. At the moment, that pit doing a little bit of work as Peach not gobbled out, but Frescari will kill him off in the end. Another kill in the books for MDK. The Baron still being done by Super and Merwin. And 21 minutes in, it's a Baron buff.
Koreans low-key racist. I wouldn't call it low-key.
And it is an absolute demolition here in Mad Lions Core.
You know, East Asia... Let me put it this way, guys. East Asia as a whole is very homogenous. And a lot of the East Asian countries don't even like each other very much. So, yeah, you know, it can be rough. Yeah, low-key is not the word I would use.
This is very clean stuff, and this is exactly what you want to be seeing from a team after they've spent the week going back to the drawing board and figuring out how they want to change here in the lower bracket of the playoffs.
I think it's also the
No, I like being in Korea, but let's just say I have an easier time than other people, and even I've experienced racism here, guys. So, it's not great. But I think the positive aspects outweigh the negatives, generally speaking, at least in my experience of being in Korea.
Forwards by Ignar, but he can't get close enough to really do any work. Elioa now sinking that wave in the bottom lane. Double supers on their way. Mid lane wave about to die, as only the cannon will survive. Merwin pushes in top. There's the knockup with the depth charge. Patrick forced back underneath his Nexus towers. Ignar forced back down to half HP. That cow getting absolutely boiled by MDK. Odoamne tries to step forward, rooted up, locked up, taken out as he's forced back to the fountain. That's 3 inhibitors at 23 minutes. Jackie is now just absolutely deleted, and the bullet time can buy you a second. But it's Agent Smith winning this one, Patrick. MDK.
Ah, what a stomp, guys. What a stomp. Really well played by Mad Lions, but Giant X just trying something a little bit experimental and just not having any timing windows to execute it, thanks to how well Super Alvaro and Elioa played that early game. Super clean. Very, very nice.
You mentioned it, but I'm going to mention it again. 0 deaths for Mad Lions Koi. Giant X, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board as we go to a quick break.
Giant L. It was a giant L. Mega L.
Some new champs, like I don't think MF was like played much if ever.
Yeah.
So it was Mad Lion's Koi, as you said, Aragon is same band.
Maybe the
Karma, so let's see. I mean, I'm not sure if it's gonna be Senna again, maybe.
I would say if you guys are in Korea, like, obviously it's like easiest to be Korean, but second easiest is probably white or like American of some sort, or like Western European. Because you know you're gonna have a bad time in Korea if you're not white or Korean or Japanese or Southeast Asian, right? So sucks, but I think it's getting better for what it's worth, but it can be a little rough here.
It is. It's quite of a strong champion, and with the flexibility that they showed, it might be look.
All right, we're back to Senna first pick, except this time we have a Vi ban. All right.
Looking good, and yeah, we're seeing it again, the Senna. I'm curious what's gonna be the counter fight, and I don't think that's something that
well. Proactivity on the roll.
I mean, I really like it. Like, although I'm on Rambo, that's a champion that, oh my god, in 2021 he was getting banned off all the time because it was his like signal. More like Sejuani Akali sound.
Okay, so now we're gonna take the Sejuani on the opposite side. So possible Jax angle here from Merwin. We'll see if they have more Sejuani synergy.
Basically, we decide to mismatch bot lane. And we
Jim
want to fight.
into Senna. This feels safer.
Might happen because we have a last pick, right? So
the Jin feels safer into the Senna pick, and also, you know, there's a possibility of punishing it with, depending on like your support in jungle, which one of those two things is going to be Rel. So we've gotten rid of the Sejuani in favor of the Rel, which probably is what they should have picked last game instead of Sejuani. And the Jax now will be able to provide long-range engage onto the less mobile Senna.
But we'll see that, because think about it, maybe you want to...
Akali flex. That is a very good point. A finite field, because Merwin does play Ignite, Teleport, Akali top at times. Very true, very true.
So I guess they're thinking it might be, but I don't see
no Blitzcrank into Senna.
I'm not sure if they should.
We are going to take the Nautilus, so it will be Rel jungle. Lots of good kill pressure on the bot side now for the Senna.
I mean, I would say Ko is fine.
Rom into Nautilus, classic counter pick in the support position. Tom Kench isn't there.
And I'm really curious how they're gonna in Rambo.
And Twistana, so it is a top lane Akali. Interesting Braum synergy in the bot side with Sejuani, like getting Sejuani E into concussive blows. Like there is crazy good lockdown there on any kind of engage. Like the counter engage is really good. He banned Talia on accident.
Because Leona Jin, quite of an old school duo, but they already have the dumb one skins together, so it is actually a bot lane that can.
What? I mean, maybe.
I'm not sure if in this match, but sure. Well, actually, they banned Talia, so I guess they're thinking it might be, but I don't see much of a reason. Maybe it's actually good 1v1. Okay, there is a Hui ban as well.
Almost no disabled people on the street. Maybe, but like having lived in New York, all of the subways in Korea have elevators, which is like not true in New York City at all. So I would think, at least for like people in wheelchairs, it'd be a lot easier to get around Seoul in general. Like elevator access is really prevalent. I don't know. I think public transportation is amazing, and like elevator access is very prevalent on subways, every single subway station. So that does surprise me a little bit.
AD mid, they're gonna pair up the Sejuani with, because if you go an AP mid here, you're gonna be really overstacked. I feel like topside.
Yes.
So maybe what are your AD mids?
There's lots of handicap parking everywhere I see it. Yeah, I don't. That's not my impression at all. I think for a big city, Seoul actually probably has very good disability access, but I could be wrong. It's not something I spend a lot of time, thinking about, fortunately.
Okay, Tristana, I guess. Okay, yeah, sure. That makes absolute sense. I mean, they did pick Nautilus, so Braum angle is fine. It's quite of a good neutralizer, but they have a last pick on mid lane.
Yeah, in the subways, there's always like places for pregnant women, for old people to sit down, seats, save for handicapped people. The subway doors are all super wide. The trains are super wide. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, we're going full poke, full kind of all-in way. I'm not sure how is the Jace Tristana matchup. I do think it's a bit better for.
Oh yeah, the subways are super clean. There's actually bathrooms in the subways that you can use that are also super clean.
Even though it's a Braum, I think Jhin, Nautilus can.
There's no crime in Korea, guys. It's like none.
Second is how the top lane will go versus Akali versus Rambo. But do you have any even like the constant damage, right? With Jhin, Rambo, it's more like a burst champs or like the champions that want to set up. Okay, we're going full poke, full late.
Yeah, very, very long range damage here on the side of Giant X. So, I mean, Jin's not in the right place yet, but you get it. Like, huge amounts of poke damage. This will also can be used, Rumble Equalizer can be used to poke out the back line. So, really good long-range poke and pick potential on the side of Giant X. Again, Sejuani maybe not the best synergy with the composition that we're running on this side.
What's gonna be happening a lot first bot lane, even though it's a Braum, I think Jhin, Nautilus can actually look for stuff with Rel.
Problem is with Giant X, like in a long fight, especially if Rumble goes down early, they're gonna have a problem like actually dealing damage. And Braum is gonna be super strong into Jhin, Jace, and Nautilus, right? I mean the shield value for Braum is crazy here. And, Sejuani may be impossible to kill late. Braum feels amazing, though, in this composition. Yeah, there's no vandalism in Korea, guys. They've even run social experiments where people, like, leave a laptop on the subway, and it's returned, like, 90% of the time. There's no vandalism. Nobody vandalizes anything. No graffiti, nothing. They have like massive, LED TVs on all the subways that show like where the trains are. Nobody ever breaks them. It's like everything's perfectly clean, no vandalism, no stealing, nothing.
Looking at both compositions like this, given what Bad Lions Score has been able to do in Game 1 in the crushing way.
But when you have a society that is 98% Koreans, and Korean society itself is very collectivistic, and people are focused on the collective good over the individual, that's what you get.
But again, right, enemy team has Tristana with Braum, they have a Senna, and they have like a Sejuani, which most of the times is quite tanky. It feels like the front to back for the left side is just so oppressive that it might not be even like worth picking so much poke and setup from the other side.
It's about how much
the downside is that there's very little diversity of viewpoint or opinions. Because of the collectivism, you can be collectively wrong about things and just have those beliefs be super oppressive. Like, remember that North Koreans are culturally Korean as well. I wouldn't say their system is great. Right.
Giant X have a few more tools in their toolkit this game, though. Obviously, Odoame picking up his Rumble. Played that once so far in Winter. Won on it. But we do have Jackie's, Patrick, and Ignar all first timing, at least for 2020.
What would you recommend if you wanted to visit East Asia as a black person? I don't know, man. I've not had that experience, honestly. I'm sure there are people who have written about that online. It probably differs country to country, but I have no idea.
Very curious as to how this early
I mean, you'd probably be stared at a lot. It's probably pretty obnoxious.
They're pushing lanes everywhere, right? And the composition of itself from Giant X didn't matter. And sometimes, like, that's the case, right? You kind of look at a draft and its totality, and you believe, well, okay, like if these comps fight, this team should win. But at the pro level, it's never quite as simple as that. And Mad Lions demonstrated for his last game why that's the case. So we've been seeing them try to get more prio this week. Last week we saw Akali from Friscawi. We also saw the Ezreal. Ezreal was a neutralizer. The Akali wasn't a great performance from him.
Japan literally is the cleanest country I ever went to. Yeah, Japan and Korea are similar in terms of cleanliness.
Really good at getting that push in lane.
But Japan's the same thing, right?
He moves a lot
You
with
have,
Elyoya. He does a really good job of
it's
working
very
with
homogenous,
to work with where they have
collectivistic
pressure. This bot lane should be a little
society.
bit different compared to what we saw last
So
time.
big upsides to that.
While a pretty powerful duelist, thanks to his passive in the other game, against this Jhin, I'm curious as to if they have more power. It looks like Senna still wins.
But also, you know, there's like an overwhelming, you know, pressure to conform, which, you know, leads to high suicide rates, right? You know, individual dissatisfaction. If you're different, it's pretty rough. You know, whether that's if you're gay or foreign, you know. So it's not the best. It's not, you know, unequivocally the best thing ever, right? There's pros and cons to each.
And then Braum will still have the W afterwards once he realizes that the other support is kind of isolated. Anyway, on the top side of the map is the matchup I'm actually the most curious about, because Akali, well, she loves melee matchups. She favors when you kind of have to come into her. The extended range that she has on her Q is really nice into these shorter range champions.
Wait, Peach is going to jump this wall.
Well, at least Patrick's been able to farm on the first 3 waves this game.
Level 3 looking for another gank bot lane.
No pings. Elyoya didn't.
So I don't know that they don't know that Peach is here, but Peach is dismounted.
Because they know MDK have been playing around the prio in the bottom lane to look for the.
All right, here we go.
They preempt the fact that Elyoya is going to invade. Super having to get away with the flash heal burnt already. Alvaro now trying to escape as well. Still only level 2.
Patrick on 4 shot right now.
From the blue buff, comes across for the gank, flashes forward, lands on Peach.
Flash Q. Okay. Dismounts again. He has no mana. He has no mana. Oh my God.
MDK react well to the change of play from Giant X. Ignar stunned up, no flash for him. But MDK Peach is going to jump this wall,
I see Peach. Level 3 looking for another.
He actually just doesn't see Elyoya.
The gank bot lane.
No pings.
He doesn't know that Elyoya Q's over. You know, they both get cute. They both get cute around this dragon wall, using their movement abilities to go over the terrain. Nice preemptive flash by Supa too. Allows them to kite this back out and land the root.
Alvaro now trying to escape as well. Still only level 2, but Elyoya pulls away from the blue buff, comes
Q flash. Nice zoning.
No shots left. Nothing left in the gun right now as the stun lands onto Peach. Patrick reloads, but just not in time. MDK react well to the change of play.
The combo of concussive blows plus Sejuani E is so dumb. We don't see this combo very much.
Do a good job of moving from the lane into the river. They don't try and retreat back to the tower because they know even if this jungler is creating this gank from behind, their jungler is still in the bot side river, so as soon as they can close that gap, the better. Alvaro does a good job of mitigating a lot of the damage thanks to his shield, and they buy enough time to turn this one around, so the gank is going to come through. Only level 2 for the bot lane. The heal immediately popped and the flash. Great response. But then look at how much this is mitigating with the shield from Alvaro. They then turn their attention to him. The 4th shot is then going to come out from Patrick. And like, what other damage does he have? Nice engage from Elyoya. The re-engage from Peach, they think it's enough, but they just don't quite have the damage. And now Peach is isolated from his team. And again, it's this Sejuani Braum double passive, just gives so much utility and
yeah.
in this early game that Mad Lions Koi
The stickiness is just crazy from that. I agree with Vidius.
While the aftershocks active, so it's even tankier. Very difficult for Giant X to win out that fight as soon as
Patrick wastes 4 shot on Sedge. Yeah, I mean, I think they just had to back off. I think they just had to back off once the re-engage came in. Because the thing is like,
what other damage does he have? Nice engage from Elyoya.
Yeah, 4th shot does nothing. But as soon as Elyoya comes in, 4th shot has been used. There's very little mana. You're trying to counter engage, and then you just get stun locked by, you know, concussive blows. And there's the Sejuani E right afterwards, right? So you just have to back off. As soon as this comes in, it's over, right? You just need to disengage and head under turret. So the mistake is Peach on the re-engage here. He doesn't respect the combo of the frostbite and concussive blows. And the fact that Patrick was like literally reloading during the re-engage.
Patrick used the fourth shot into an aftershock Sejuani as well. While the
Yeah, you got not flash for Senna's just back. I agree.
Very difficult for Giant X to win out that fight. As soon as Elioya joined, you could see they were trying to preempt it. It was smart play initially to get round and get the gank off, but as you say, very well coordinated by MDK to escape it. Once again, they are out to an early lead. Ignar now.
Like you either just go onto the Sejuani while you're kiting at that point, or you back off entirely. There's no support for you if you go into the back line, so I think Peach misplayed that.
Wave is being held in the bottom lane. We'll see if that's frozen by Alvaro or whether or not he's just trying to hold it outside of the tower so that Super can get there in time. Ignar going forward. Frescowi jumps away from the dredge line. And Patrick and Ignar will work their way back down towards bot. As
Oh yeah, the fourth shot was Aftershock. Thank you, Skrelin. That's a good point. Because the Aftershock procced on the Q flash. So it did even less damage.
They're gating really well here. They're making it very difficult for Patrick and Ignar to get that back down towards the bottom lane because they can anticipate, hey, we've started to shove the wave in bot. They're going to try and get back down here. We know Ignar was around mid, so if we can catch him out, it gives us more time for Super to push in the wave, get some damage on this tower, and deny XP from Patrick and Ignar.
But they can't spend too much time here because notice that Jackie's is already here. This will be a 3v4.
Peach dives in, the root on Alvaro as well. Super stunned up, and Jackie's comes in. Patrick takes the kill. Super down first. Alvaro sacrificed as well as Elioya limps his way away. 2 kills.
Oh look, they got their first 2 kills of the series, guys. It took them 1 game and 6 minutes, but they got 2 kills.
Able to move as easily as Jackie's was. He cleared out that mid wave and he had immediate access to his side of the jungle, whereas Frescowi would have been forced to go all the way around. Regardless, though, MDK still tried to force a fight. This time, though, they had the additional damage of Jackie's, and they were able to find 2 kills. Elioya, though, is around. Don't spend too much time here because notice that.
Yeah, really greedy invade. Obviously, they're just not respecting mid prio here. Remember, they also just don't have flashes. So, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Could just push out mid and then go drag, by the way. They already push bot, could just push out mid and go drag. Wah, wah, wah.
He cleared out that mid wave and he had immediate access to his side of the jungle, whereas Frescowi would have been forced to go all the way around.
Yeah, Alvaro's been good.
MDK still tried to force a fight. This time, though, they had the additional damage of Jackie's and they were able to find 2 kills. Elioya, though, is still hovering around bot lane. Super and Alvaro will make their way back. This is a huge minion wave, though.
Is LCS next? LCS might be tomorrow.
Get a kill. Is it worth all the experience and gold that that wave would contain? Just look at the minimap here. You can see that Jackie's is underneath this tower, and sorry, Frescowi is underneath this tower, whereas Jackie's has already made his way over to the fight, and that extra damage was all they really needed. They get a kill handed over to Patrick. So they end up giving it? No, they end up giving the other kill over to Jackie.
Not even a Smolder game. Nah, I have to go take care of my kid.
Definitely a relief from all of the pressure that Man Lion's Koi have been putting.
He's been, I mean, it's Sunday my time, so obviously it would be normally a weekend, but he had Friday off and he's got tomorrow off as well because of the Lunar New Year. I will watch some of the LCS games though. I'll probably watch all of the LCS games on stream, honestly, because we're gonna have time because there is no LCK or LPL. So in the next few days, we'll get around to all of the LEC and LCS games, I'm pretty sure.
Over to 46. Only a slight gold lead into the kill that Patrick did acquire.
Keep my eyes on mid as Peach is hovering around the lane, has the level 6 now. But nope, nothing really going to come off the back of it.
Is that Chuseok?
Getting close to his level 6. He should be able to secure it.
Does your kid attend Korean school? Yes, that's part of the reason why we're back here for a year. Does LCK resume on Wednesday? Yes, it does.
Relatively soon. You imagine that will be Peach's prerogative.
But LPL doesn't actually resume for like a week from Monday.
This matchup very even. I
They're off for
expected
like
it to
10
be a
days.
bit
LCK
more
only took a
even
week
towards
off.
the Rumble, especially running the Comet. We've seen, I believe it was Merwin that we saw do this last time, where of course you can use your Q.
Half white, half Korean, right? Or South Koreans accepting of mixed ethnicity kids? Increasingly, I would say. I mean, yes is the answer, particularly if they speak Korean. But, you know, to a certain degree, they will still be seen as outsiders.
And Grubs now in 35 seconds.
Another plate falling in the mid lane. No one there to pick it up, though. Jackie's the only red gold lead for Giant X right now, about 200 gold.
There's a word called kyopo for Koreans who, like, grow up in the West or have, you know, more Western sensibilities that, you know, might be applied in this case.
Difference is Ignat is making his way out onto the map first, but he's not level 6 yet, whereas Alvaro is. Would love to see Ignat making his way over. Oh,
Ignite. Odo's dead. Yeah, he's just dead.
Oh, the shield.
No, I think Ignite still gets him. It's enough.
Nice.
Alvaro is. Would love to see
Nicely done, actually.
Ignat making his way
Merwin's been fun to watch, man.
over.
E2, Q.
Ignite. Odo's dead. Yeah, he's just
Yeah.
dead.
Oh, the shield.
No, I think Ignite still gets him. It's enough for Merwin. A blasting one enough to take down the Rumble. Remember, it's
Crazy to know he had kill pressure there. I would not have suspected that.
Flawlessly done there from Merwin. Very well played. Akali does have a lot of trade potential. Wasn't expecting that tower dive to come through, though. Credit to Merwin. Now the Herald's fight. But the numbers in favor of
Fisher
Mad.
out from Alvaro. Eliora going in. Currently, it's a 4v3 in favor of Giant X, but Super joins the fray. Peach diving in. Alvaro able to escape, and Peach getting burst down by MDK. A huge investment from Giant X to try and get these grubs. Instead, they lose their jungler, and they'll lose at least.
Very well played. Akali does have a lot of trade potential. Wasn't expecting that tower dive to come through, though. Credit to Merwin. Now the Herald's fight. But the numbers in favor.
Great Braum ult. Really good Braum ult to clog that choke. Then he just gets the shield up. And there's actually no follow-up damage, even though you get a good engage from Peach here. They don't even have to use Senna ult yet. Alvaro, nice job.
Instead, they lose their jungler, and they'll lose at least one of these. Odo could look for a steal, decides against it, doesn't really want to.
Third-generation Korean immigrant felt isolated when she studied abroad. Did she speak Korean? Because I think that's the big difference. And also probably a big difference if you're a man and if you volunteer for military. Because not going to military as a man is, you know, culturally frowned upon. So even if you don't have to, because you're not a Korean citizen, you can always volunteer.
So it should be in our favor, but the amount of stall that Braum Sejuani has is excessive.
Am I throwing a Super Bowl party? No, it's at 8:30 a.m. Korean time. I will be throwing a Super Bowl party for myself.
And the Sejuani passive, it's just, it's a lot.
And you have extra CC coming out from the Senna. You've got damage from her. You've got healing. You've got the Tristana who's able to free fire. And you've got Jackie's getting caught out here in the mid lane. Dawning Shadow coming across. Jackie's has the flash. And Frescowi saves his life by knocking him away with the Buster Shot.
Unlucky.
Of a miscalculation there. Frescowi did the maths, but damn, he's bad at it as he kicks him away to safety. He will still get some damage on the tower in the middle.
Can you keep American citizenship if you volunteer in Korea? No, you're misunderstanding this. If you are Korean American, you can have dual citizenship if you volunteer for the military. You cannot keep your Korean citizenship if you are male and do not do military service. So the only way to be a dual citizen between Korea and another country is to do the military service in Korea. Otherwise, you lose your Korean citizenship. Is Faker not serving frowned upon? Different, because he, like, earned his exemption by winning the gold medal. So I don't think it will matter for him.
Just so many build variations. I have to imagine that this one is more about, like, chipping away your opponents, and obviously you can take full advantage of the passive because you're in fights for so long. Anyway, the Dragon being started off by Giant X. Super still needs to make his way down. I don't think he's going to get there in time. And Mad Lions Core, I think, should just...
Yeah, the Braum pick is absolutely mega here. Not only do you get the not counter pick in lane, the Nautilus counter pick, but you get such crazy value into Jason and Jin. It's really good drafts from Mad Lions, honestly. Impressive drafts. Merwin on the flank, doing 1 quintillion damage to their poke comp.
The rest of Giant X still trying to get back towards that mid lane. The curtain's open. Will they close on Elioya? Again, the Unbreakable eats a shot, but Alvaro eats his death. Frescowi now diving forward. Jackie's an Odoamne low, looking for the resets. Can't find them. Glacial Prison flashed by Patrick. Super still.
What was my favorite restaurant in West LA? Hatchet Hall. Sichuan Impression.
I believe that ended up being a 3-for-1, maybe a 3-for-2 in favor of
Simpang Asia, which is an Indonesian restaurant.
as well, but if he overstays TP coming in, I don't think Odo can get anything here. His ult isn't back up, or is it?
No.
Those are a few for you to work with there.
You gave us a moment of tension, though. It's like one of those murder mysteries where you know exactly who's done it, but it's like, oh, but did the policeman do it with the sarsen of milk?
I thought that they would just act as zoners to try and allow for Super and Frescowi to get the tower. They go all in. They get a good amount of damage on the Peach, who's able to get away to safety. But then Merwin comes in, cleans up the explosive shot, ends up getting it. Then you know what? They back away. They realize, you know what? We can't get anything more of that. Giant X trying to retreat. Mad Lions Core trying to retreat. Then Patrick said, hey, still got this ultimate available. I think this could be a good fight. Ignore with the re-engage. But Alvaro
The Braum value, dude.
both Odoamne and Patrick. They end up trading 1-for-1, but with this
Mad Lion's pretty good, honestly.
chasing, they get the flash out then from Patrick. And then Super, I think Patrick wasn't expecting.
Have I ever been to Vienna? No, I would love to go to Vienna, dude. I would love get some skiing in the Austrian Alps, go see an opera in Vienna.
Excellent series so far. 46 stacks on him, 14 minutes into the game. So definitely doing a lot of work for his team. Patrick steps forward here. The control will cleared out by Elioya and Merwin, but this will be
Hit up a nice masquerade in Vienna, you know what I mean? I've heard I would love to go to Vienna.
Much more even early game than game one.
For sure. I mean, they're finding great fights again, and I just think
Indulgent Indonesian viewer, what is your favorite Indonesian dish?
Koi picking up the I think Senna is really strong. I do think
Um,
sleeping on the power of this pick. I feel like the whole idea is like, oh, she scales, you know. she's a good
I'm
late
a
game.
big
I'd like to
Martabak
see him
fan.
Successfully punish this champion in the laning phase. And
What else do I like?
that are better at punishing the champion, but in Europe, they are struggling to do just that.
All right, Betty, I have been away for a little while, but having watched today and a few of
Some of the like braised beef and the coconut leaves.
Well, you don't know that
I forget what
for
that's
certain,
called.
okay?
Nasi goreng, obviously, which is their chicken fried
I
rice.
know you went to the dentist recently. Did you get a prescription for that, Copium?
Those are some of the ones I like.
Powerful stuff you're on right now, man.
Lions Koi putting their focus towards the bot side of the map. Dragons running around minute 45.
Come to London. I've been to London a million times, man.
4-1 setup. They love this setup. They've been using it all season long. Usually it's Merwin sitting in the isolated lane. This time, though,
Rendange beef. That's it. Thank you very much.
oh, there he is. He's with the rest of the team.
BR Locks, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub.
Jumps away.
But look at Frescowi mid lane as well. He's just chipping away at that tower. They're more than happy to concede this tier 2 in the top lane.
It's exactly the exchange that Giant X took in game one as well. Jackie's was pushing in top. They had bounties at that point, but he'll take 2 towers in exchange for 3 or 2.5. MDK could look for more. They'll take away the jungle. Jackie's will be able to finish off that tier 2, as you say, but it's still only an even tower trade, and you're losing your entire jungle.
My question is,
But I like spicy food a lot, so, you know, sambal is
I think they might fight
love Indonesian food, man.
He tries to jump away, but he's locked up, knocked up, and almost taken out of the fray.
Oh,
The explosive
kablam.
shot will be enough. Frescowi goes on a kill
Really
streak.
clean games by Mad Lions. This is very impressive. Playing to win conditions super well, understanding how to operate their drafts. Besides that little whoopsie in the jungle where they overextended, which I think you can forgive them for being overconfident at times because of how well the series has been going for them.
Pear, he's a peach, man.
Yeah, but pear-shaped, it means it went poorly.
But he's a peach, man. Another tower secured for Mad Koi. Dragon is spawning 15 seconds.
Martabak, is that the Chancellor of the Klingon Empire? It's a good joke.
Where's the rest of the follower? You burnt the curtain call.
Gowron, best Chancellor.
The recalls from MDK. Don't do those, but they can just recall a little bit further away and they'll be fine.
Did you watch the garbage between SK and Team Heretics? I did. You too can go subscribe to my Bangers Only channel and see me malding. Here you go.
They're doing a great job of playing around the lanes. They will concede a dragon, not the end of the world. They did spend a lot of time on the bot side of the map. They were sitting on a lot of gold. I'm curious as to what Frescowi will buy. Will we see a fully completed item? Oh, not quite. Opponents working their way up there though. But now, what do Mad Lions do? They turn their attention
BR
to the top
Locks.
side.
I don't think I thanked you. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Maybe I did.
Beeline towards mid lane.
I'm tired from having a newborn, guys. My memory is like a goldfish.
Tristana is gonna go and catch. The vision is already being invested into the
LCS
top
versus
side
LEC. Who do you think will do better internationally?
The objective.
I
Mad
think
Lions Koi are doing a
that
great
perhaps
job in
LCS actually has
game,
better
just
depth right now, but G2 is still better than any LCS team. So I think maybe like on average, the top, 4 teams of LCS are better, but the best LEC teams are better than the best LCS teams.
The Baron is spawning in a minute 20, so I wonder if they say, you know what, we're happy to just take this tower for now. We're going to go and catch bot wave. We have TPs for Frescowi.
Isn't the Shy banned from LCK? Is he? I don't know. I don't know why he would be.
And then we can make immediately back. They can move back towards the Baron to start contesting that objective.
Is G2 better? Do they just have worse competition? TBD tomorrow versus BDS, guys. That's going to tell us a lot.
I think the Vamp Scepter might just be to sit on. The core
That was
fields,
my suspicion, yes.
Core fields and the pickaxe to build into something else, but we'll see. I think the removal of mythics in the game has allowed a little bit more flexibility in terms of build, which I quite like. Considering mythics were introduced originally to provide more flexibility in terms of builds, I think we finally got to that point.
Yeah.
Which is
I mean, I'm having a lot of fun playing the game right now.
Do you ever get to a point in the game? I do it a lot with supports where I'm like, I've got Locket, I can't get Shurelias now, because in my head you can't get them both, right? Because they were both mythics. And then halfway through the game, my Twitch chat will be like, "Hey medic, why haven't you bought Shurelias? What are you doing?"
Well, the only thing that annoys me is that I'm a Nakali one trick now.
Okay, that annoys me too, but we go ahead.
But the game keeps telling me to build, like, when I finish my 3 items, it's like, you should
no
build Void Staff, or you should build Zhonya's. And I'm like, why aren't you recommending Death Cap?
It has seen your playstyle, Betty. Yeah, there's an avoid second. So the Vamp Scepter was just to sit on for Frescowi. Now Mad Lions pushing in the top side of the map. They've already cleared off the turrets everywhere outside of the base of Giant X, except for this lone tier 2 in the top lane. Super continues to chip away at this tower. 60 stacks for him. Jackie's slowed, but just forced away enough that MDK can tank up the turret and take it. The inhibitor tower in the middle.
Really clean disengage here. Right as I say that, Merwin gets hooked, because of course he does. I went back in time and caster cursed him. Oh, it doesn't matter because he still gets a kill because he's super ahead. All right, fair enough. It was merely a clever bait, merely a ruse to get a 2-for-1 trade.
It's a 2-for-1 exchange in the end in favor of MDK.
With the jungler dead, that could be the window that MDK are looking to jump through to secure this Baron. With 3 members still alive.
I really enjoyed your cooking streams with Susie back then. Well, maybe you guys should have watched them more. Yes, I can bring them back. I cannot do it in Korea because all of the equipment is in the States. But when we get back to the States during the off season, perhaps the cooking streams can resume. I love doing those cooking streams, guys. You just didn't watch them, so I'm not gonna waste my time on it. I would rather just be a full-time cooking streamer. That's what I would like to be. The algorithm refused to push them to me. Did you keep despite moving? How much of my cooking stuff? Yeah, I kept it all. It got moved to Denver. All of my shit is in a warehouse in Denver. I owned a 3-bedroom house in LA, guys. I have all my stuff. It got moved in a moving truck to Denver, and it's now sitting there waiting for me to get back.
Them starting off the Baron. Giant X finding a window with good damage initially onto Alyoya. He turns onto Patrick. The shield isn't quite enough to protect him, so he ends up losing his life to Jackie's, but then Frescowi, untouched on the backline, gets the resets on his W. kill after
3-bedroom in LA, that's a couple million. No, I bought my house for 1.2 in 2019. It's only 1,800 square feet.
saw a few people saying they put him on the Karma in game 1 because you don't have to have as much of a carry impact on a champion in the form of a Karma. Obviously, you can still do a lot of work.
I mean, it's still outrageous, don't get me wrong. Like, one of the reasons we're moving to Colorado is because I can buy a house that's cheaper and 3 times the size.
Caught out a little bit, concussive blows not procced as Ignar steps around the corner to try and help his jungler, but MDK...
Yeah, my 3-bedroom house in Los Angeles, I haven't sold it yet, but when I sell it, you know, I'll buy a cheaper house in Denver that's 3x the size. So, I mean, it's completely ridiculous. That's why it's one of the reasons why we're leaving, because I don't have, you know, there's no reason for me to be in LA. I don't even like LA. I'd rather be in Colorado where I can just go fucking skiing.
Quite join up with the team in time, and in the end, MDK's foray into the jungle does secure them some razor beaks and some vision, which will have to be cleared out by Giant X.
Yoga ult and Alvaro ult were used in that exchange, but they don't quite secure the kill. Overall, they do get very good vision into the top side of Giant X's jungle.
1.2 mil for 1,800 square feet. Yes, it is mental. It's fucking mental. That's why I'm out. That's why I'm out, Adanian. I'm out. I'm done with this bullshit. I'm done.
The benefit for Giant X is they've taken 2 of these, so it's not like this is getting MDK onto soul points. It's not like they have to worry too much about a mountain soul too soon, which would be very powerful on a Sejuani and a Braum. Just makes you that much tankier, that much harder to deal with, and with Giant X falling behind in terms of gold, they'll fall behind in terms of damage as well. Jackie's is at 3 items, so he'll start putting down some DPS, but it's hard when he's really your main damage source against a Sejuani and a Braum.
The components are now complete for Frescowy, though. Bloodthirster finished as well. Means that he's strong. This Tristana is terrifying, if he wasn't already. Giant X doing what they can to not lose all control of their topside jungle. The top wave pushed in once more. Observers highlighting what Giant X can
Plus,
see.
you get taxed 10% by California.
Pushed in. That ward on the top side of the map offering a little bit of information.
The amount of money I will save on taxes alone just by being in Colorado is absurd.
Far sight number 2. Well, that's just the ward across the wall. Ignar, no wards left in his inventory. There's far sight number 2. You know, it's down to about 5,000. Unbreakable comes out from Alvaro. Curling core being held on. 2-second bullet fired out. There's the 3rd one left in the chamber. Merwin, a good flank position. There's the 4th. It's Alvaro. Hook goes in onto Ignar. He's going to join.
It's pretty good engage onto the back line, actually, with the equalizer here. But that's pretty good. That was actually about as good as I think it's going to get for Giant X. Supa is slowing himself.
The heal as well for a little bit of extra movement speed, but Peach now has a good flank position off as Merwin does have the TP and is about to reset.
Oh, he interrupted the engage with Seji.
Ignar flashing in as they catch out earlier. A good hook onto Frescowy as well, but he still has his flash, and there's the TP behind by Merwin, the Dawning Shadow goes wide. Ignar down.
That's nice. He's coming back in with full HP from a base. Very nicely played. Good recovery by Mad Lions. You know, this team is actually pretty good, guys.
Make the fight work out. The ace is secured, and that's going to unlock the Baron. So much of my focus at the start of that fight was on Merwin. His flank looked so good, and I thought that was going to be a 1 fight. But on the left side, the front line from Alvaro.
They got some value out of the Jhin ult, too, because of the Braum shield being down and the patience they had.
Keep your eyes on Merwin here. Gets this execution.
This is a really good engage, guys. This is really well done by Odo Omne and Peach. I mean, you get a 4-man equalizer here. Super nice.
Peach and Odo Omne sets up Giant X beautifully. The problem is Merwin is going to go back to base and then TP back into the fight, and all Mad Lions Koi are doing are buying time. Super gets a bit of a heal.
Also, Elyoya still had Glacial Prison, which actually does do a lot of work in slowing Patrick and Ignar, so they can't catch up to the play.
They're going to get a nice interrupt onto Peach here with the Q from Elyoya.
You know, you wonder if Ignar and Patrick were here just a little bit sooner, if this play actually goes a very different way.
They've got full HP on all the carries.
Patrick also takes the AoE from Tristana. Oh, rough.
From Mad Lions Koi. A great TP from Merwin to solidify the fight, the Baron, and very likely the game.
A little bit messier here from MDK, but still in commanding position. 26 minutes in, they are 10,000 gold ahead. They have Baron buff for the next 2 minutes, and they've already cracked an inhibitor. You can see Frescowi in this 1-4 split is down in the bottom lane, getting that next wave forward. MDK can walk through the base. It's a little trickier, as Gidex could collapse as they go forward. Ignat, Hex splashing, Alvaro with a good Glacial Fissure.
Not yet sold on the Culture Channel? Well, you're missing out, man. The Culture Channel is actually fucking banger content these days. A Danian here does some great editing. Foreplay and Nerd Legion are great shows. You're missing out. I'm very proud of the content that we're putting out on the Culture Channel right now as a team.
Looking for more as Ignat locked up, stunned up. The flash forward onto Patrick. Jackies gets onto the back line, but Patrick's down. Jackie's down. And MDK are through to the next round.
Another impressive game.
C9 Energy next. No, I think we're going to save that for tomorrow, guys. I'm going to go spend some time with my family. It's 5 p.m. here. What's the Culture Channel? Here you go.
Going into that series against Vitality on Monday. Very excited for that one. But just great mid-game macro control. Overall, a very solid performance. But of course, commiserations.
Yeah, big stomp. Very impressive play by Mad Lions. They keep doing better and better. You know, I too was skeptical of the roster changes that they made. And are they going to be worse? Probably. But they're also, you know, worse than they would have been. But are they better than we expected? Also true. You know, they're also better than we expected them to be. We will do G2 BDS 100% tomorrow. As for LCS, we'll get to all of the LCS games this week, guys. So don't worry about that because I'm going to be streaming Monday, Tuesday, my time, and Wednesday, and those are all before LCK starts again. So we will have plenty of time to get through all of the games. Plenty of time. No power rankings. I am waiting to do power rankings until BDS G2. As soon as BDS G2 is done, I will have the entire universe of information I need to make power rankings that are relevant for the next couple of weeks. So I was going to do it this week, but then I decided if G2 loses to BDS, then I look really stupid. Prediction for tomorrow, G2 3-1. So I decided not to look stupid immediately and maybe look smart by waiting for G2. Because if I put like G2 9th or 10th, or maybe even 8th, I just want to see them actually play a best of 5 against BDS, because then I'll have a better sense of where they are. Helldivers 2, I have not played it. I'll check it out. All right, guys. I'll be back tomorrow. After the Super Bowl, of course. We'll discuss the Super Bowl as well. So, I will see you guys then. Thanks for watching.